Greetings and welcome to the 1/6 Scale Man Proudly presents. And as y'all can see, the bubbles are gone. We ain't got to worry about them bubbles no more. So again, we ain't looking like the Partridge Family. You know what I mean? We ain't got to worry about all that. We ain't got to worry about the bubbles that we had up there before, because everybody was laughing at us last week about the bubbles. Vinny had jokes the entire damn episode talking about them bubbles. We ain't got to worry about them bubbles. The beta's gone. We are back to normal, right? Full screenage. Ain't got to worry about them bubbles no more. So thank you guys for definitely being here. It is an incredible episode, man. I'm your host, Leo Rockwell. For the 1/6 Scale Man YouTube channel, do me a favor. Hit the like button, subscribe to the channels, hit that bell notification. You always up to date as to what we got going on over here on the channel. Remember, no bubbles. No bubbles. Anyway, let me just bring in the rest of the crew, man, as always. You know, again, first off, let me bring these motherfuckers in here one by one. Because here's the thing. This motherfucker right here got a dope-ass deal on some figures over the weekend. You spend $600 for 6 figures, bro. How'd you pull that off, Jedi Pimp? How did you pull that off?
I went to an old-fashioned tent sale at a comic book store. And a buddy of mine, and I had a ball. I've been telling y'all all week. I'm going to this sale. And I made out like a fat rat.
Bro, you ain't tell about them. Them is like some, you know what? Them prices is like price right prices, bro. Those is 5 and below prices, bro. You know what I mean?
You say, man.
How did you get that mile?
Get in with you
for $90, bro. That don't make no sense. How'd you pull that off, bro?
Go to the tent sales. I had a ball.
I know you did, bro. I know you did.
$615 is all I spent for 6 figures. I'm happy.
Wait a minute. Vinny don't be letting me know, bro. Vinny don't warn me about this.
I'm sorry. Oh my God.
Bro, yo,
this motherfucker,
bro. You come up with the names. All of her clothes off, bro. All of her clothes off.
That's it,
bro.
All of her clothes off.
Yo, feel like finally one we can say though.
Word.
That's the first time I done heard Leo read the name out loud.
The name the entire time, bro.
That's the cleanest one.
Of her clothes, all of her clothes off.
That's the cleanest one.
All of her clothes off, bro. What the hell? Do you just sit there and be like, yo, how can I? Let me just put these names, acronyms, everything. Try to find my way through this to get the perfect name.
Yeah,
honestly, it's just the wealth of the crazy ass internet out there that has reminded me of these names that have existed.
And the internet and the weed.
You ain't wrong about that. You know, you have to have a nice pairing there to, get that type of comedy out. So
all of her clothes. That's funny. Anyway, what's going on, bro? Damn,
man.
You start from the gate.
Having a smooth Monday, man. Kids were chilling today. Kids were vibing, people wanted to play basketball. I'm like, we can't play basketball like that because you guys get hurt easily. And everything you do, go to the bathroom, motherfucker twist the ankle. It's like, damn. I got right paperwork just because you decided to go to the bathroom. It's just like, so it's always just trying to, keep your line of sight on the kids, and it's always stressful trying to do that. But man, other than that, man, I got some books in. Got me a Cloak and Dagger, one shot, Mark Brooks, right? Yep. And I got an MCU-ish cover for Iron Man with the ladies.
Word. Yeah, that sounds about right.
Jon Favreau and Adi Granov, they did a line, Iron Man Aviva Las Vegas.
Oh, that's dope.
Way back in the day. This
Jon Favreau is a low-key freak, bro.
Yeah.
He's a low-key freak, bro.
Yeah.
He's a freak bull. He definitely is a freak bull. But yeah, bro, thank you for being here as always, man. Definitely appreciate it. Loving the display back there. You still putting together them daggone yeah. You already
You
see
see
it.
my timeless is going
Bro,
all the way
how
across
was
the
that?
world.
Yeah.
Bro, that big ass Venom, dog.
I told you, bro, that motherfucker's big, bro.
Look how big he is compared to Carnage, dog.
And Carnage is already a big figure, bro.
Right. Oh,
You know, you looking at a kaiju, bro.
yeah.
Yeah, Carnage is a baby now. He was my biggest piece, and then now he's just like.
And you can't fit him in your DTOF at all.
I can fit both of those in there with some ingenuity and some posing for sure.
Oh,
we get modification on that. Yeah, that motherfucker's big,
You gotta
bro.
get them leaning down and all that, but I like having them stand up and get that full visual of their size.
Put him in Indian style to fit in the detail.
Super dope. He said put him in India. We got Rob.
What's up, babies?
What's going on with you, bro?
Yo, living life, man. Dude, hey. I got these little jewels right here, which mean nothing because they were mad cheap.
The Shadow.
This is Shadow, the DC #1. They cost nothing, so they're worth nothing, but they're worth something to me. You know what I'm saying? So
nah, bro.
Are those facsimiles or newsstands?
Bro, you know what? That's a good question. This one is definitely real. They both look real, but there are some print issues that definitely made me question it a lot. But
where'd you find them at?
Like
I got them off of I got them from local shop man here called Killer Fine Joe. Yeah, it could be when I looked it up online, there was a bunch of them that was cut. You know what I mean? So I think it's yeah. This joint is from 77, 76 or 77. So it's older too, man. So the QC might not have been on point back then.
Is that's part of your that little documentary or that little joint you're putting together?
Yep. Tried to find some old stuff, man. Again, it probably wasn't the best comic book, man. It was they went to contemporary. Of course, Shadow takes place in the 30s. This looked like it took place in
the 30s, yeah.
Yeah. Took place in modern time, so it was a little bit different, man. But besides that, that's it, man. You know, hey, I do music, man. I did a whole album this week, yo. So stay tuned for that.
Bro, I think I heard one of your tracks the other day, bro. That shit was fire, bro. Like,
and aggressive, right? Like, me and Leo was talking, man. You know, you talking the subject. You said everything you possibly could in this week, whatever's going on. Mm-hmm. It's like, so I was like, let me just do 6-7 songs, man, and put out a little EP. So y'all see me out on the street, man. I do autographs, man. Just don't grab me on the ass or nothing. You know what I'm saying? Just tap me on the shoulder, man. I got you.
Stay out of
there. Appreciate you, man. Definitely.
Yeah, glad to be here, too.
Thank you, man. We got my daughter in the building. Hey, baby, thank you for watching. As always, last but not least, we got V in the building, bro. Like, how you doing, man?
It's good, everybody. I'm coming off of Awesome Con in DC, so that was a fun one. It was a little bit different of a show than last year. They kind of like spread out everything, so I think it kind of like put a little damper on the turnout for some of the artists. It was still a successful weekend, but it wasn't quite as madhouse as it was last year because they spread everything out more and like repositioned some of the celebs and stuff like that. So it was a change in turnout and everything like that. So we'll see how they go, moving forward. But it was a lot of fun. Talked to a lot of different fans. Did a lot of commissions. And it was a blast. I did a lot of networking too. Talked to some cats who do their own comics and work for some industry folks too. So we'll see. Hopefully there's things coming in the future. But I had a lot of fun networking and talking to people, and man, there was just a lot of cool moments. One of them was I did a Sean Astin Samwise Gamgee on the book page, and I do those in the size of the page that they're on, right on the page. Each page correlates with the character, right? And I picked a page that I loved from Sam, where he, I can't carry the ring, but I can't carry you. Yeah. I took that page and I blew it up as kind of like, because I had a corner booth, so I was worried about if it's one of my eye grabbers. So I was like, I can put this over here in the rack with the book pages over here. And I did one that was blown up, and somebody came by and was like, "Hey, can I buy that one and have Sean Astin sign it? Because I like it. It's bigger." And I was like, "Well, I'm kind of using it as a display, but well, he's like, well, what if I got it signed and then just brought it back here? You could just rock it on the table the whole day, and then you could, I'll just come back and get it at the end of the day. So he took it, went and got it signed, and then came back. And so that was the first piece that I've done where someone took it and got it signed by someone from the movie or show. So that was pretty cool. So that was a fun part of the con. Just a lot of good people, a lot of great interactions, a lot of great chit chats with fans. Some of the best parts though is always when young artists are coming up to me and their parents are like, "Go ahead, ask. You had some questions." And then there was this girl who must have been like 14, 15, and she was looking to get into video game animation work and drawing and stuff. And I just told her everything that I thought applied to what she's trying to do. And it was just watching her eyes light up and like take note and just be like a sponge, just being responsive to different things and being reciprocal with questions, and just hear her like find out, even one or two things of what I had to tell her that might help her on her journey is like means the world to me. So more than any kind of sales or success to me, like that is the absolute best part of this side thing I do, is just talking to people who feel like I felt when I was 13 going to my first con, and eyes wide, just seeing all this stuff in a different light than I was used to seeing it, because there's so many just like people who are down to earth like them, who are have boosts and are doing their thing and making their dreams come true. So definitely overwhelming, and I had a lot of fun, man. So yeah, DC was fun. I'll be there next year, and next one up is next one up is yeah, man, that was awesome. And next one up is Philly in May.
Word.
Where's Miss Fantastic at?
Oh man, she was yeah, I did that Max was they were really excited.
Hey, so I heard you. I did hear that you bagged yourself a cosplayer, bro, for the room. Ladies and gentlemen, I got to bring this up, man, because like I said, this is remarkable that he did this, bro. I was like, yo, how did you bag this, bro? How did you bag? How did you bag?
Yeah, they were talking about her all week, bro.
For the room, bro. Like how, bro?
Speaking of the room, bro, the funniest shit of the weekend was I don't know we're all old heads. I don't know how many of y'all used to go to cons like back in the day, but back in the day, there used to be a lot of adult content at cons.
Oh, at the end, near the end.
There used to be people selling DVDs like in the full seasons of Amazing Spider-Man and Friends on VHS or DVD, and then like there'd be a little rack in the back, and it'd have adult stuff, and it'd just be like right out open. Like they got rid of that a long time ago. Like you haven't seen that for years. However,
making a comeback,
the world is healing because there was a tent there, and I didn't realize what it was. I thought it was like swords, different stuff like that. And I came around the corner because I was doing a quick walk on the floor, and there was a tent, and there was a bouncer there, and it was like 18 or older. And I was like, my mind didn't put two and two together because that's just been gone from cons so long. So I was like, huh? And he carded me, and I was just like, what the hell they carded you before for swords? I look up, and then right before I went in, it said like cosplay deviants, and I was like, oh, get the fuck! I went in, and sure enough, it was what you would think it was. And I said, yo, they done stole the room idea for the con and made it the tent. Yo,
wow. So they had cosplayers in there.
In there sound like
real human people,
cards and photos and stuff of them, with Bloomer's tag all over clothes off.
Hence how he bagged this, everybody. Ladies and gentlemen, in the end, he's just letting you know he bagged.
That's what happened, bro.
Wow, bro.
Yeah, Miami SuperCon the same way though, near the end of the night.
Yeah. Man, that's you standing next to that dude.
Oh man.
What'd you say?
Yeah,
Have I seen a picture before?
Yeah,
that's me. I'm a short cat, bro.
I didn't know that, bro. Like I was like thinking that was somebody famous. I thought that was the dude from Harry Potter, the big dude.
Bro, why you think we call him Wolverine, bro?
Yeah, bro.
Makes sense, bro.
I've been trying to get him to Wolverine for about 3 years now. He won't listen to me.
Yeah, man, it was a lot of fun, man. It was a
dope.
lot of people. Kevin Eastman was there. So there was a lot of turtle cosplays, and there was just and then 3 of the Lord of the Rings cast were there. So it was a ton of Lord of the Rings cosplayers. So it was a fun weekend.
That's what's up.
Yeah,
them jokers go to all the cons, yo.
Yeah,
Lord of the Rings,
Lord of the Ring boys, yeah.
They everywhere.
Yep.
Bro, this is the first time I've
Walking
ever heard, or in my mind, heard Malika Mbane drop out of character. He's like, damn.
That's that Kevin Hart, man. That's that Kevin Hart. Damn.
He's like, damn. Yeah, bro, that Kevin Hart. That shit was fucking funny. While we're here, man, before we get in, like I said, we might as well just go to this, Vinny, real quick. You know, hey, tell everybody about the store, bro. Tell them about the shop where they can actually find you.
Yeah, man. I just uploaded it. New pieces from this past week. So I got the new Turtles joint on there, the new God Emperor Doom, solo leveling, the Kingpin and Bullseye pieces, the new R1 and Sam. So there's a bunch of new stuff on the site.
Bro, Vinny,
Thank you.
I got to get this, bro.
The turtles.
I got to get this. I have to get this for my daughter, bro.
Yeah, turtles.
I need this for my daughter, bro. I honestly need this for next week. My daughter comes on the 18th. I need this.
I'll make sure you
How
get it.
How big is that?
Hell yes.
That's 11x14 print.
I need this, bro.
That's
I need this,
man.
and I need you to sign it to Autumn, bro, because she loves the turtles, bro.
Gotcha.
This shit
man.
is dope.
Thank you.
Have you done any of the last Ronin?
No, this is the first Turtles piece I ever did. Because there's so much turtle fan art. There's so much of it. And for years, I've been like, what am I going to do? Because every time there's somebody who's really popular, I'm like, I want to do a different take on them because there's so much of it. And I at one point seen like I wanted to do like a big spread and have like a big city thing, like the Spider-Man with the city in the background, and then have them on each of them. But I've seen a lot of people do that. And then I was going to draw them. I was going to paint them all on a pizza box. And then I seen somebody else do that. That was my big move. I was going to paint them on a pizza box. Now I still might, because the way they did it is differently. The way they did it is differently than the way I had wanted to do it, but it's still like a version of that was kind of done. And then I was like, I never see black and white turtle stuff like the OG comic.
Not since back in the day, yeah.
So I was like, all right, I'll do a black and white joint, and then if there is black and white joints, I know for damn sure I've never seen it on black paper, and so I decided to do it white on black paper with pastel color pencils. So that's pastel on black paper, and I just had a lot of fun doing it because the way that I had to fight the light and the composition for it being at night and having the bridge lit up and the city in the background was I had fun doing it. So and then I used the Mesco TMNT line as like references for the turtles.
Yeah.
So that way they looked old school with like the letters on their belts, like the old figures used to be on the figures. Because back then it was like it was black and white, so you could tell who they were by their belt, not their bandanas. So that was a lot of fun.
You mentioned the pizza box. Once you do the Domino's pizza, they love Domino's pizza. Like that was on the movie.
The whole point was I was going to just like do it right on the pizza box and then get that scan, and then have when I did the print, you would be able to still see that it was on a pizza box.
Yeah.
So I still might do that, but I just didn't get. I wanted to do something different for the first time I hit them.
So you should do it, though. You should do it.
Yeah, man. Thank you. I appreciate it. That one was a lot of fun. So I did Punisher and whatchamacallit, Kingpin and God Emperor Doom the same way on black paper because I was just having fun doing the pastel joints.
Bro, this right here is dope. Like this bullseye is incredible as always. Is that down here? Damn it! I didn't even know shit was in the dryer. Ain't that some bullshit?
Just throw some shit at it.
It.
Yeah, man.
This Kingpin right here is incredible.
Yo,
that is perfect, bro. Yo, y'all hear that news
just,
about?
You just did that?
Yeah.
That's dope, man.
Thank you.
Yo, y'all catch that news about that they Kingpin can't appear in the movies?
Yeah,
What?
I figured that might have been the case.
Yeah, they got some
D'Onofrio-
rights issues.
D'Onofrio had put the rumors about his character being in the MCU films to rest by saying that they have the rights to TV, but Sony still has the rights to live film.
Yo,
Is it Sony or is it Fox?
bro.
Is it Sony?
Which makes sense because you think about it, like his first appearance wasn't Amazing Spider-Man 50. So
that's right.
So it's cool that we even got to see him in Daredevil at all because Sony could. I'm sure it's luck that contract didn't apply to TV as well. So him being in the TV show was probably some kind of loophole where they were able to use him, but
sometimes
won't be in live action.
Sometimes
I mean, not without them working with them, but at this point,
sometimes the rights are separate too. Remember, because you got some that are specific to TV, like the Batman TV show. The movie rights belong to Warner Brothers at one point, but the TV show belonged to somebody else at one point. You know,
bro, it's so fickle because Sony. So here's the thing. This is the crazy part. So Fox had the rights to Daredevil. And again, Fox had the rights to Daredevil, but how they got around the whole situation with Kingpin, because actually the rights to Kingpin belongs to Sony. So they basically had the rights to Kingpin, but the only reason why Fox got around it because he wasn't featured as a mainstay. It wasn't a Kingpin movie. So as long as he was just a feature, then of course they could do it. But again, Sony still has the Rose Gallery when it comes to villains for Spider-Man. Yeah. So of course,
that's so.
And remember,
it's dumb as fuck, but that's just the way it is. So in order
I try
to
put myself in the shoes of Sony from time to time.
It's easy.
Seems to be.
It doesn't make any sense, no.
No. That's easy, bro.
The sense it makes
you feel dumber when you do.
Money, bro. It's like they got a piece of land.
The fact that it makes sense. That's it.
It sucks that they don't love the fans.
They're not playing ball.
But they did lend Spider-Man. I mean, they lent Spider-Man to Marvel during the time that
only because they were struggling.
Yep. Exactly. They were getting ready to tank.
And as soon as Venom did well, they had delusions of grandeur and tried to dip.
Right.
Uh-huh.
Let's make
and
all.
I think when they allowed Marvel to do that No Way Home shit, you best believe on the back end, Sony already negotiated like we're running through with these next few movies, which was Craven, Madam Web, right? Like they were like we're running through, and then the last Venom movie, like all of them were trash.
I still ain't even seen Craven. Bro.
They could just phone it in because they just own some of the most iconic Marvel characters, and they own their on-screen rights.
Yeah.
And it's like, why would you sell it? You wouldn't get a better deal.
Yeah,
you would be selling it because for the sanctity of the people. When do we know those people up there who call those shots ever cared about the sanctity of the people?
It ain't happened, dog. Dude, y'all watch that new Seth Rogen show?
It's the almighty dollar, baby. That's how that works.
There will be a first person, Spider-Man film. There'll be a found footage Spider-Man film before they sell those rights back. They'll do anything.
It's crazy, man.
They'll let the spider racist dude make an actual film with a budget before they fucking give it to Disney.
Yeah, they'll do Spot Pete before they get that shit back.
Shit, for real.
And you got to think basically the reason why they do it the way they do it, because while they have the rights to these particular films or these villains, they have the rights to these characters. The only way that they would lose the rights is if it lays dormant for a certain amount of time. So that's why they keep pushing these movies.
That's why when they said they're done doing solo films, I was like, yeah, right. You're just taking a break because you have they're able to take a break from the solo films now because they have Spider-Man 4 coming up. 2 years after Spider-Man 4, if they're not ready for 5, they will come out with some other spin-off bullshit to keep that shit rolling.
Yeah.
And the thing is, keep in mind, bro, like we don't see it as a profit when they're making these films. We don't see it as a profit.
But it
is a profit because here's the thing, bro. You got to think about this. half their Rose Gallery of films that they've released, especially with these villains, ends up where? Netflix. Netflix buys the rights for these shits. They buy the rights to basically show it. So they're paying a mint to get them. So they're
Hollywood
making a
Accounting.
profit. You
Netflix,
just don't see it.
Tubi. Yeah.
Hollywood Accounting, they know what they're doing.
Yeah, plain and simple. So that's
crash out on films and then reap the benefits of it. Because the residuals are going to be enough for them to go ahead and just do another film and fund that film completely.
Yep. That's how it is, and it
That's
makes
why they keep making them.
And like you said, the success stories are sprinkled in there. You got the Across the Spider-Verse, all that stuff, the Spider-Verse stuff.
Mm-hmm.
That's probably that. Those two movies alone is probably enough to keep them.
The irony is,
and the Venom franchise.
The Venom franchise, yeah.
The irony is when they're not directly involved, like with the animation joints or with the video games, the shit is incredible.
Yeah,
they're so stupid. The suits are so greedy to justify their salaries. Like they can't just let creative people go do their spin-off movies because on paper, like. Yo, that could have been a dope thing to have done with their, spin-off movies for the second, if not best, Rose Gallery in comics. That could have been a great business strategy. It's just they got in their own way. Yeah, this is
they drive. I think they must be driving the artists that actually are in the studio that work on this stuff. That actually might give half a fuck. They driving them insane. That's the bad part. The most horrible part of this is that the artistic aspect of it is just thrown to the thrown in the gutter.
That's true.
Hey, on that subject, dog. Hey, there's a TV show called The Studio, I think, with Seth Rogen.
Yeah, bro. He is throwing Hollywood under the bus, bro. Talking about these very things, bro.
Subject, bro.
These exact subjects and how they basically produce these fucking films that are trash. But they're doing it just because, again, it's the status quo to make the actual money for the studios, so the studios to stay afloat. Bro, he makes.
Is that HBO Max? Is it on Max?
No,
it's on Apple.
Bro, he makes fun of. The shit is funny.
It's funny, dog.
Dog. They got too busy, but I definitely am peeping that.
You gotta watch it, bro.
They got super long. How you got the Daredevil uncut scenes?
Yeah,
dude, they got like half the episode is shot like that. Every episode,
bro.
Extremely long scenes, dog. Even when it cuts, it'll be like 10 minutes of just camera moving around and
it's funny.
So it's well done, bro. Yeah.
It's definitely funny.
Seth Rogen is like that's a brilliant dude because everybody thinks he's just a silly pothead, but he has this incredible mind for the shit that we love. Like he's responsible for so much of the shit that
Invincible, bro. Yeah,
Invincible and The Boys, right?
The Boys, like he's brought so much of the shit. Because the first time I heard Seth Rogen was bringing us Preacher, I'm like, fuck, that's one of my favorite things ever. He's gonna make it a joke, and then I seen it and I was like, oh shit, this cat actually like respects this shit.
Like,
and it was probably because I think Green Hornet threw us off, right? But I understood what he was doing.
I still like that Green Hornet.
I like it. But I understood what he was doing, yo. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't successful. It wasn't a successful show. You know what I'm saying? Like, I watch it all the time. Yeah, but that thing had one season.
Yeah, but anyway,
what a success.
What, Green Hornet?
The original Green Hornet.
Oh, the original, the OG.
Yeah. Bruce Lee joint, man.
Yeah. Kato.
You took some liberties here, bro.
That's comic accurate, bro.
That's comic accurate.
Don't forget, she gets thick in the comics, bro.
Yeah, she does. He does. Bro, this God Emperor Doom, no. Whew,
that's fire, bro. That's like
I love doing shit that I don't see anybody else have. There was a Doom cosplayer, and he stopped dead in his track when he seen the God Emperor Doom. He was like,
with the pinstripe green.
I took a lap around this whole place twice. I didn't see no God Emperor Dooms. And I was like, I'm surprised because he's coming. So I was like, there you go. And then Invincible was like my best sellers this weekend because
I knew it was.
I only seen maybe two other people with any kind of Invincible pieces, and they were like stickers or silly shit. It was like Funkos or whatever. Like nobody else had Invincible shit, and I had a bunch of it. So that was a big talking piece for me because people would come up and not just buy the shit, but sit there and talk about the show in the comments for like a bit. So that was.
Bro,
but you got this right here.
That's raw.
This
Bro.
is ingenious, bro. This is so genius, bro. The
I
way
put that
you
like a
did it,
red frame or red
using the
frame.
canvas or
The
using it
watercolor.
basically with the watercolor is a
Yeah.
speckle of blood, bro. That is fucking genius.
Yeah, that's raw, man.
I appreciate it, man.
Dude, you know what? I love your art because it's so different, man. Like as soon as
It
the first
is.
pieces
It's
I saw,
hard.
it's like this is your style, and then you show like this
Yeah.
looks different than the turtles. The turtles look different
Yeah.
than the Kingpin joint, man.
That's
Of course,
Yeah.
different
Bro,
styles, different
that's
textures.
kind-
Right?
My two favorites, bro, is
intentional,
the that damn when you draw on the pages. I love that
Yeah.
shit, bro. I've never seen it before. And the one there it is. That's on my wall right now. Thank God for Toya. Anyway,
Yeah, man. Yo, hey, Pete. Yo, big up to
bruh.
my son. My son was just accepted to SCAD in Atlanta, man. Art school.
Word.
In
Oh,
Atlanta, bro.
Congratulations,
Yeah,
bro.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Congratulations, man.
Yeah, man.
If any, did you
young man.
sell any of these, bro?
It's gonna cost me something.
Oh yeah.
There,
So
that's it. That's it.
oh,
That's
yeah.
the one.
I had the canvas there facing on the outside. So the whole time, everybody kept stopping, and they would try to see if they could name it, find everybody, and then we would like, I would like, do you got everybody? Do you know everybody? And it would be a talking point, and people would just say,
Is
like,
that icon in the cut on the left, on top left, right?
And then we'd rock it right next to her. And then it was dope because you would have. There was somebody like around our age. He's just stopped. It was like, yo, this was the smoothest pimp that you ever seen. And he stopped and looked at me. He goes, "You got to be of a certain age to understand that one."
Yeah.
Good
times.
This is, bro. I can actually see this at the African American Smithsonian, bro.
Yeah, bro. Yeah,
I appreciate it.
I could see this piece there, bro. They would kill it, bro. That definitely would kill it, man. So definitely everybody out there, if you are looking for Vincent Dunn Art's pieces, again, you can actually go to his link. Or
good times.
you can go to his art.
Everything on the site, buy two, get one free at all times.
Yeah.
Good times.
This is funny, man. Anyway, before we actually dive in, got to give a special shout out to the other places where we get stuff from. Starting with my man Ray over there at Underground Figures. If you were looking for the latest and greatest, he got it for you. No NRD, shipping and handling is definitely reasonable. Sign up for
that. Is that Dante? Whoa.
Yeah, it's a Devil May Cry one.
That was Dante?
Jason, you bought enough this week.
Where?
Wait. Yo.
That's Dante from DMC.
That means it's sold out now.
Sold out on that site.
It's sold out on the site because if you go up there and you click on it, and if you can't find, if it's not there, somebody got that. Yeah, somebody got that Playboy.
That joint was probably popular this week, bro.
It's Iron Man's
bro,
going.
I didn't know that. I didn't know Dante even dropped.
Yeah, bro. Yeah, Playboy.
Hey, what's that? So Toys? What is that?
Playboy.
I don't even know who this.
It might be Asmus.
Could be. Yeah, that
bro,
dropped.
That's raw, dog.
Yeah, it is, bro.
Don't worry, you'll get it for $14.99 next week.
I might. Let me find it.
That's what I'm telling you, bro. It's worth going to his page to check out everything that he actually has there, what you're looking for, because you can definitely get those pieces. For the people who didn't get a tech, he actually has it. For people who didn't get that Obi-Wan, Clone Wars Obi-Wan, that Batman basically has that there. He has the Venom, so you see that Venom. That Venom is there. He has the old man Keaton, a Sabine Wren. Anything that you were looking for, he got it. And on top of that, like I said, make sure you create an account because you never know when he might have free shipping. He might have the discount on the figure of choice that you're looking for.
Got the new Deadpool with the door.
Here. He's gonna have that. He's gonna have this one right here. It's down there. Yeah, so you just hit him up, tell him that you want it, and he'll order it for you. So that's definitely what he does. So shout out to my guy Ray. Also, Taylor 2 Rays, we got to give a shout out to our guy Ray over there at Hawkwood's Toys. Nice little care package. You get that figure, you get comic books, you get stickers, the works. It smell like Jupe, Cool Water, High Karate. Anything you're looking for, he got it. He'll definitely make sure that you got it. He's taking care of you. Proud sponsor currently of the Figure Flex Friday Facebook group. Anything that we got going on over there, he'll make sure you have it. Again, he got those Grail pieces. Anything that you're looking for.
With them in art.
In art. He got the deluxe Ron Weasley. He got the Dawn of Justice Superman Henry Cavill. He got the Harry Potter. He has that 2-pack Arthur Fleck Joaquin Phoenix Joker set. So if you definitely looking for that, he got it for you. as always. He
Oh,
takes
so you
care of
got
you.
Picard. Okay.
Yeah. Also got to
This
give
ain't
shout out
advertisement.
to yeah.
It's testimony.
Exactly. Also,
That's
we
it.
got Jacob
That's
over there, Comic Relief, Comic Collectibles. If you're looking for, not only just figures, but if you're looking for your comics, physical media, hit him up. He'll definitely take care of you. Again, you see the display, you see the pieces he got over there. Hit him up. He got his store hours are actually there. You can give him a call. His email address is there as well. Give him a call. He'll definitely take care of you. You got all the classics, anything you actually looking for. That compendium he got there as well. You want to make sure that you hit him up, and he will definitely take care of you. As always, and last but definitely not least, got to give a shout out to our guy Brian Wong over there at Mod Case Mod Space. If you're looking for incredible display, he got it for you. Any display option you're looking for, he got it for you. Again, you got a few testimonies out there. He'll find everything that you need to proceed. So definitely hit him up, and he got you as he always does. Now, we got to kind of I wasn't even gonna bring this up, bro, but I was like, we kind of brought it up when we talked about it last week, so we gotta kind of bring it up as a continuation conversation. Of course, y'all know what I basically brought up here earlier. If you watch the thumbnail, this is Blade. I'm just using this as an actual caption. Now, so far, from what we know and from what is being basically said. Now, again, I don't know it is gospel, but apparently they said behind the scenes, Marvel Studios has canceled Blade.
I believe it.
Now, here's the thing, bro. Like, and I'm like, is it a cancellation to whereas they're just putting it on the back burner until the multiverse saga is over because they can't fit it there?
No.
And they want to basically bring him in as one of those chairs because Kevin Feige did confirm that the first lot of chairs that we got is not everybody. There's more announcements to come. So that was confirmed over the weekend during the whole CinemaCon thing. But
yeah, if they was going to can it, it should have been at CinemaCon. I was expecting them to say, "Hey, it's over with at CinemaCon."
Yeah,
they didn't do it,
bro. They announced this shit when in 2019.
Bro, this was it was announced.
Bro. It was over
around
like
2019 at was it Comic-Con?
Yeah, bro.
It was at Comic-Con.
They brought him out on stage.
Comic-Con. And they brought him out on stage, gave him the hat and everything. This was right before the pandemic hit. So that announcement was definitely made. And since 2019, we are now at 2025, bro. And there's been absolutely no fucking movement other than they found a new director. The last rumor we heard was the director from the John Wick film.
John Wick was the last one, yeah.
You know what I mean? So it's like, what is there to believe at this point?
Movie? We wait on this damn movie. He ain't out on Marvel Rivals. The video game taking fucking forever. Everything on Blade is delayed.
Yeah.
And that's what the rumor was, right? That I thought they had clarified. They just removed it from the schedule.
Until otherwise, man.
Which is where we've been.
Snipes' Blade. Right. Until otherwise.
Yeah, Wesley Snipes' Blade, bro.
That's Blade.
You know what? I will say this, man. If they go with the John Wick, dude, the way the international element and the way they respected cultures in the John Wick films is the same thing. If you go back and look at the behind the scenes for Blade, smaller scale, but that's what was going on. You know what I'm saying? Like, Wesley Snipes has a connection with the martial arts. It was all these martial artists, the stuntmen. A lot of that had to do, and I remember him getting some kind of award in Japan for doing that, or some kind of martial arts award or something for doing that, man. So I could see that connection with John Wick would probably be a cool. I don't know how. I was kind of looking forward to the black culture, to the street culture. Though I think they showed in the trailer for the video game.
Yeah, we ain't gonna
but yeah,
I just bro, like I don't. What makes me feel like there's and I try to basically stay away from the conversations and the agenda. I try to stay away from it and give it the benefit of the doubt, but everything is just pointing for the latter, bro, because you are so focused on putting out announcements about this particular movie is in the works. This particular movie is in the work. Like, I'm even going on a ledge of saying, like, yo, how come Shang-Chi 2 is on the back burner.
Exactly.
As successful as that fucking
movie.
film
Bruh,
was,
that's too much culture.
and that's what I'm
That
saying,
was
bro.
culture.
Like, you are definitely showing your fucking hands when we don't actually have Blade in production at this particular moment.
Well, you gotta calm down. They gave us Black Panther. You gotta calm down,
bro.
You got Black Panther, right?
Bro,
bullshit, man. Like
it doesn't make sense to me, and there's nothing that they can say if this is true. Because, like I said, right now, I don't know if it's confirmed, because this announcement is based on a rumor so far.
Hey,
as far as
Lael,
I can
though,
say.
but you know what, though? Even with that being said, I'm telling you, it's true enough. If it ain't canceled, we still in a weird spot. We've been in for 6+ years, yo. You know what I'm saying? So you're right. But even if the rumor is, we there. You know what I'm saying? For it to be canceled would suck, but it's like it's in purgatory right now,
bruh.
Vinny, I see you turning your head like, man.
Yo, you ever know anybody who they've been with a chick for like 4 or 5 years and they still married, and then the chick's been with like with multiple dudes for 4 or 5 years. And then you say then they say, hey, you hearing so-so's getting a divorce.
Yeah.
What do you mean? They've been broken up for
right.
They just gonna make it official and finally sign the paperwork.
Right,
They've been
right.
They ain't living in the same house since '88. Like, what are you talking about? Marvel Studios, we went over it. It's very like painful to keep beating this dead horse, but like we've talked about agenda a lot of times on the show, and there's agendas to push certain demographics and
exactly
and good and we hopefully good intentions, and there's other demographics that have are drowning and they could care less, and the black male lead demographic is among that.
Fade to black when it faded to black, man.
I mean, like we're seeing a lot of shows and films push female superheroes, and it's been a long time since they've gotten any consistent love or shine, and that's great. Is the quality there? That's a different argument, but the intent and the energy and the execution is given there. If that is not reciprocated with the other end of the with the other major minority in this country, and it's very unfortunate because they have made these decisions despite the fact that it's profitable. So it's like it's insult to injury that it's not like Black Panther came out and made $600 or $300 million, and it's like, yeah, we're not going to go out of the way for black superhero films because people don't show up for them. Everyone showed up for
the
Black
first
Panther.
$1 billion movie, and
even without Chadwick,
bro,
almost $1 billion was made with the sequel, with all that animosity and controversy of to recast or not. People still showed up for that sequel, and within and we see, like you guys mentioned, Shang-Chi as well. Like, that's another film with a diversity agenda.
Too much culture.
That people showed up for, and that was a strong film, maybe the strongest of Phase 4. And here we're getting all the black news is cursed.
Yeah,
like it's just fucking cursed, yo. We got the Wonder Man bullshit. That's cursed.
That's gonna be trash.
Shit with Jonathan Majors, cursed.
Yeah.
Fucking Ali shit with Blade, cursed. The recast shit, like everything, and some of it is just happenstance, right? Like, you can't control. There are certain things you can't control, like Chadwick, and there's certain things you can't control, like maybe there's some things or writing wise or you can't control, like, all right, Chris Evans was done, maybe the world wasn't ready for the Sam Wilson story yet, whatever, but it was important to do some of these stories, and I feel like they're reluctantly like, here this one, see, we're not racist, fine, here. But the attitude to be so wishy-washy on these stories
Yeah.
is insane when there is so much money to be made and easy money, because this would not have been some big $200 million, $300 million budget blockbusters that they would have had to make sure they recoup on for a IP that hasn't had a movie in 20 years. This was a film that could have been made for $60 million and made 10 times that.
Right.
You had a major
But see-
actor that is one of the top actors in Hollywood, and you sat his ass on the sidelines,
Crazy, bro.
play games with him. Like, I'm sure he had guaranteed money, but that just seems like games for such a, and especially when all the news surrounding the film was so ridiculous, like the passing of the torch to his daughter, or doing the
Right.
the you know different sexual identity issues and making that the part that they had to work around, or passing the torch, or making it connect with the the Midnight Suns or the multiverse. Like, y'all overthinking this shit. Like, it's just Blade. It's not that serious. Just go. Like, it's very frustrating. And to be a Marvel fan who wants to see these properties, it just doesn't make any sense. And what's sad is this doesn't just affect the films. The comics and the films are so married that, like Bloomer said, we're seeing this shit trickle over into video games, not seeing him in Rivals. We're seeing them, like, they're what, I don't know if they did or about to kill him off in the comics. Like, stop playing games. Stop playing games. Like, you should be doing everything you can to build up these characters in big events instead of still doing the experimental shit on every beloved character. Like, you don't need to play games with Blade. It could be more straightforward. Daywalker vampire, make him just go out there, kill a vampire. If that didn't work and you were gunshot, that's fine. But you didn't even give this film a chance. It's insane that this didn't work, because it was announced and so many people were hyped about it that shit. Even if they did it now, like, now you got so much bad taste in everyone's mouth on how y'all treated this dude. And it's not like y'all really had anything else going on. It really wasn't shit. There wasn't shit to hang your hat on in MCU, at least in the film, department. And in years, this could have been a big win for them, and they just didn't give a fuck.
Yeah,
and expect us to.
Bro, it's like, that's why I was so excited to see Brave New World. I know everybody didn't like it, and everybody had their gripes with it, but it was like, damn, a black male lead finally in the MCU again. You know what I'm saying? We haven't had it since T'Challa. So it was. I was so excited. I saw that shit 3 times, and I know it might sound stupid to some, but I was that excited to see myself on, in the genre I love. You feel me? Like, this is what I love, the genre. I love the comic book shit. I love the figure shit. So it was good to see being represented again as a lead role. Like, what the hell is wrong?
And Pedro, yeah, we had the Captain America movie, but we had a lot of female-led projects that was showing that they were supportive of diversity in that area. And I think we should have gotten more than just, that Captain America movie to show the same for black male leads.
Exactly.
Hey, y'all, because Apple TV sent me today, I'm promoting another Apple show, which is #1 on the call sheet. Watch that, yo. Same subject, man.
Yeah,
they talk about this, yo. It was phenomenal. I haven't seen this part 2 that focused on black female. I haven't watched part 2 yet. I watched part 1, man, and to see Denzel and Lawrence Fishburne particularly. There was a couple of them, but those two. Denzel said he cried when he watched Black Panther because of what it meant. All the stuff that we know, what it meant to have those people on. It was just cool to see someone, and Denzel's not a movie watcher. He's not a big movie head. He'll tell you that. You know what I mean? For him to react that way to what people are saying isn't even art. Comic book movies, right?
It's crazy, bro.
But it's disappointing to see that which is the tale of our culture, right? It's 2 steps forward, 1 step back. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
Or sometimes even worse than that, right?
You remember that situation with Spawn? Like, I feel like that situation puts it really to a T in
Which
terms
was-
That's
of
another one. That's another one. Same
So-
shit.
So
Yeah.
Same shit.
you know they had Michael Jai White as casted as Spawn,
Right.
of course.
Right.
But the guy in the comics, the guy that got with his wife after he had died, was
Yeah.
a black man.
Yeah.
And the studio was like, "Nah, we can't have two guys, two
Right.
black men.
Gotta have the white
dominating
boy with
the
there.
thing." So they went with a white dude to have
Right.
that juxtaposition
Which
for
is-
whatever reason.
Which is to Vinny's point, right? Like, so
They want it to be a black movie.
That's a
It
formula.
could have been a black ass movie. It just had
Right.
to be a black movie at the most. And then
Those
Right.
are the
somebody who's
characters
gonna have a
that
mask on his
Todd
face all the
McFarlane
time.
and
But
them
here's
came
the thing,
and
though.
they were
It's
like,
a
"Nope."
formula. It's a formula that's been proven. That's what sucks. You know what I'm saying? Like they've got us convinced.
We make money, dog. when we
Convinced
come to
that
see it.
we're not selling money over that. Well, Black Panther proved that. But even then, even the black exploitation films, we talked off air. We talked about the black exploitation films, right?
Yeah.
I don't think people realize, as poorly as those movies made, I don't think people realize how successful
they make wow.
those movies, when people weren't going to the movie theater, those movies were bringing people back.
Yep.
Dirty Harry, one of the most popular franchises at that time, is based off of the success of Superfly, Shaft. You know what I'm saying? Like it was, and you see it. It was made. It was just Warner Brothers had a little bit more money to sprinkle in there, but them black exploitation. So we got to prove. We prove that we're dope. We prove that people overseas is going to buy it. And then it's like at some point it's like we forget, you know what I'm saying? Whatever going on in the world, we got to reprove ourselves again. You know what I'm saying?
It's like
So
why? That's the part I'm tired of that shit. Like why do we have to keep reproving ourselves over and over and over?
Yeah.
Like fuck that, bro. Like that's why. Like I said, I put in so much time into that Brave New World shit because I already knew what it was on the outside. On the outside, like. You know, we bring Steve back and he shouldn't be Captain America yet. Man, fuck y'all. Read a book. It's in the book.
Yeah. I think so. I think when and it's crazy because bro, on the call sheet, my girl's up there watching it now since you said it. So shout out.
Yo,
but,
yeah,
because I heard that Lupe in the very beginning. I was like, oh, she's watching it. But here's the thing, bro. Part of me, so I'm like, okay, they're gonna make the Blade movie. It's going to get made. But my problem is, as of right now, is that are you going to make it because you really want to make the film and you're going to put the effort into doing so? Or are you doing it because you hear the complaints
out of spite?
You're just you know what I mean? So that's my point. Like, don't do it and don't make because you made the announcement and have those fucking films that you made the announcement for. You follow through with. You follow through with the Internals. You follow through with Captain Marvel 2. You follow through with all of those particular films. But you did not basically follow through with this shit. And what was hard? Like, what is so hard about making this fucking film? Like, what is so fucking hard?
Dude, you know what? And you hit
masculine black male leads are kryptonite.
Listen, but here's the thing, because y'all hit it on the spot, man. I talked to one of my homies. It's the suits, bro. I know I'd be hard on the suits, man.
It is them,
and I'll take a positive thing that they did that was positive, but it was stupid. Deadpool makes X amount of money, so then they made Logan, which was a good movie, but I remember the focus being on, yo, he can cuss, the rated R element.
Yeah.
Wasn't what made those movies good. You know what I'm saying? Like they were good stories. They were well done. To me, the cussing is in there, sprinkled in there. But that's how I remember that's all they were talking about. Oh, now we can make rated R movies. So in reverse, they doing things with diversity, and they're not narrowing in even on the specifics of the diversity. I just feel like they're just moving away from it because, again, like you said, they did the Eternals that had diverse characters,
trash.
And it. You know what I'm saying? But it was trash because of the script, not because of the diversity. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, now the good thing about Blade, or not the good thing, one of the things it's hard for me to pinpoint, and probably for y'all too, to pinpoint what the issue is because you had these directors come and go. There's rumors of the actor during this time period that the actors he's been vocal or he has some kind of control over what's done and what's not done as well. So you got this feeling of behind the scenes stuff.
He won an Oscar, right? He won an Oscar, correct?
He did.
So come on, bro. Like, let the man live behind the camera.
Two two-time
The
Oscar.
man don't won an Oscar, bro. Like,
Yeah,
yo,
point,
why
Brock,
can't you
because there were
have some kind of
stories that he pushed
creativity
back
up your
against the
film,
original
bro?
script.
Yeah.
And had
He
not
might
had
be
that
winning.
Had he not had
It
that
might be
creative-
him.
Had he not had that creative power, we might have seen one made a few years ago that was trashed. If it
Exactly.
had time to stop it.
Exactly.
That's it. That's what I say. So it might be not to blame him because it's probably them. And then you
No.
gotta. I know I keep bringing up the past. Ant-Man came out. Ant-Man's one of my favorite. I love the funnier movies in Marvel. So Ant-Man's one of my favorite movies just to sit down and watch. But
last one was trash.
If you tell me you love
no.
Love and Thunder, bro.
No.
we might have a
No.
problem.
Yeah. We have to cut you off. That's trash.
Love and Thunder
Trash.
is not good. Yes,
Trash.
100. But what I was about to say was Edgar Wright, who I think is one of my favorite directors. He left. Again, the movie turned out fine. You know what I'm saying? But that dude worked on Ant-Man for 7 years. Before he had to leave because Marvel wanted to do what it wanted to do. You know what I'm saying? The movie turned out fine, but you can see his DNA, the costume design. I can see Edgar Wright even what we got. You know what I mean? Peyton is a dope director as well. But just want to point out we've been there before. You know what I'm saying? Where something was worked on for 7 years and the director that took it from start to almost finish end up leaving because
creative differences.
Yeah, and Blade is something that's harder to fit in. I'm loving the fact that we got the Daredevil TV show right before we get any movies, because Blade is one of those characters too where I feel like they have to be careful. I feel like they're trying to make him part of that Marvel world. The more time that passed, they're trying to make him part of that world quicker when we probably need that ground level Daredevil like thing. But
the thing with Blade, fan, the man been on every fucking team too.
This
He's
is
been
true.
on Night Stalkers, been on Midnight Suns, been on the Avengers, been by himself. Like, come on, bro. Like, it's not
I think they're trying to find a way to make.
Bro, they got a way, bro, and this is easy, dog.
But I think the thing that might be the hang up for them, which is a hard thing to even think of, is how to incorporate vampires into this MCU.
That's what I think.
But
that's the only thing I can see.
They're there, bro. They had one in Deadpool. He was still a vampire.
Yeah.
He was still the same Blade of Deadpool that we saw in the old movies. Like, come on, bro. Like, they just don't want to do the shit, bro.
Well, how much of
that's how I feel.
How much of that's throwing it off, though? You know what I'm saying? Like Wesley Snipes walk on the screen and keep people go crazy over it. How much of it is? Are we again? This is suits thinking. You know what I'm saying? Maybe it's West. Maybe it's not the Blade movie. Maybe it's Wesley we need. You know what I'm saying?
I think Ryan did that on purpose to make them motherfuckers try to make a move.
Yeah, I agree.
That's what I think he did on because he generally loves the franchise. He said that him and Wesley made up. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
He didn't want Carl Wesley to come back.
People too hung up on this.
They're not going to take the Sony angle, Charlie, because they don't want to give Sony their props and say, "Oh, thanks for allowing us to move into this vampire angle." They're trying to make some shit up on their own to explain how it happened over here, rather than trying to bring in some Sony shit to explain it, even though that would make sense.
It's just crazy, bro. It's crazy, dog. 2019, fam.
I think so. Here's the thing, bro. There's a lot kind of riding on this. And one of the things that I'm glad. So here's the thing. The reason why I'm glad it's not coming out right now is because I don't want it a part of this current state of the multiverse, because it doesn't fit. It will never fit in that space. And I don't want him to become more of a throwaway character. So again, if you are, and if it is true that you're getting to run the John Wick director, and if they're going a totally different route, you know, they got the script. If they're getting him the director, because again, they said he was excited, it could mean that it's canceled for this slate, meaning that it is canceled for this particular space. Not to say that it's canceled indefinitely, just basically say that it's canceled for this slate so they can finish off with the bullshit. Because here's the thing, bro. Let's remind ourselves that this current run, you know, this current phase leading up into, Doomsday and also Secret Wars hasn't been the greatest run. No. So would you want him to basically want them to tie that character into this current run or start off fresh?
But they should have did this shit in 2020.
Because if you think about it, there's a way that you can even fit him. To be quite honest, there's a way that you can basically fit Blade into the mutant saga. How you can basically do that? Celine.
Hey, hold on.
The problem is that
Hey,
they
why-
announced the shit way too early.
Why?
They announced it way
am I-
too early. Video
why
game
am I-
companies do this all the time.
Yeah.
They
Hey, why
do
am
it fucking years and years out, and
Yeah.
then it starts to get to that point where it's like, is this coming at all?
Yeah. That also speaks to that's the reason why I said it doesn't matter whether it's canceled or they just pushing it back. If they just canceled it for this slate, right? It's different if they gave us information that we're pushing it back because we got a plan, and we're not. That's what we're missing. We're not giving. They might have that, but that's what we're missing. We're not giving the insurance.
Right.
If we knew,
Pedro.
if you're gonna wait 2 years, they pushed my Batman. Y'all know I'm the dude. The Batman. My daughter. The Batman is my favorite movie, bro. I watched that shit over and over again. They pushed that back to 20.
Break yourself, because that might go bye-bye.
They trying to cancel. They might cancel it. So
They gonna cancel it.
If Superman makes $1 billion, that's going bye-bye, bro. So brace yourself.
Man, they
Yeah.
ain't messing with
I don't
Batman.
think Superman
Here's
gonna
the
make
thing:
no
this
billion.
isn't just
They ain't
Hollywood
messing with
news that
Matt.
we know that he was cast as Blade, and it's like it just affects people like us who have our ear to the street on all the fucking Marvel and DC comic book shit.
Right.
This is a character that was introduced in Eternals, so it's not like it's
Exactly.
just affecting people like us who know too much about the
Werewolf by
Hollywood
Night.
behind the scenes shit. They literally introduced this character now just as a weird ass fucking voiceover, but it still was in the film.
It definitely was in that film, and
But that was in the film I'll never see again, though.
Yeah. Like,
I'll never watch that joint again, bro.
At the end, you hear the man's voice, and that's it. Like, come on,
Yo,
bro.
unless they hit us with another end game where they do the time traveling joint and make it more relevant, which I can't see happening.
Nah, they ain't gonna do that shit.
We'll probably see a Black Knight film before Blade.
Well, they're ready for Wonder Man, though. They're ready for Wonder Man. Stupid bullshit ass TV show.
Yo,
they're ready for that goofy shit. Let's get it.
Did you hear what Haley Atwell said?
No, what did she say?
No.
So and I'm using her as an example because she was very vocal about what happened to the Illuminati in the multiverse. And what she said was she wasn't speaking in general to just that, but she was speaking in terms of pretty much all the characters that have actually been introduced and the current state and the treatment of these characters. And what she said was true. And I'm like, yo, she actually spoke for the culture. She spoke for, just us as comic creators. She was like, when you have a whole rose gallery of characters that you introduce, you have to also, she said the biggest thing that was happening is that they're spending so much time trying to draw in new fans, which you understand that, but you can't forget the fans who basically brought us to this point.
Exactly. The ones
and so what she said was, she was like, look, I know a lot of people didn't like, what they did with her character, introducing her character into live action. And she said, that's fine. That's cool. Captain Carter, she knows a lot of people were kind of like, some people were lukewarm on it. Some people liked it. She gets that. But she says the problem is when you have characters like Black Bolt, when you have basically the first entry of,
Mr.
Fantastic, and you do that, you're treading on water because you're dealing with delicate characters that people are attached to.
Yep.
And that storyline should be fleshed out a certain way, even if you have the intentions on killing them off and explaining to us that it is a multiversal version of these particular characters. They should have lasted way longer than just 15-20 minutes. She said, because it made more sense, it would make more sense and it made the storyline a bit lucrative. But at the same time, keep in mind that you're dealing with sensitive characters that people are attached to, and there's nothing wrong with that, and we shouldn't treat it like that. And when she said that, I was like, yo, that made sense. That made a lot of sense. That definitely made a lot of sense, and I'm glad she basically said it. But I think it's like, again, we've talked about this time and time again. I'm tired of the same conversation about suits. That's what I'm tired about. I'm tired of having that same conversation about the suits. They know this shit by now. You know what I mean? So it's certain things that they should be doing. This is an important character. This is a very important. And here's the thing. This would definitely be $1 billion film. Hands down.
Easily, boy. Easily, man.
Easily. $1 billion film. and you're leaving money like that on the table because you refuse to give us what we want and I think we should have. So that's the thing that doesn't really make, if whether they do it, I don't know. I'm thinking that they will, but they might wait until after this current phase to introduce it. But yo, Mahershala Ali is already what, 50, 51 years old?
That's
Crazy,
it, yo.
bro. They're like they wait
That's
to
it.
try to age out, bro. Like
That's it, yo. My boy's been, man. I watched a TV show. I forgot what it was. 44, the 4400.
Yeah.
yeah,
Dude,
that's where he started.
That's over 20-some years old.
Yeah, that's where he started.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, man, my boy's getting up there, man. But
This man done won 2 Oscars, bro.
2
Like,
Oscars, dog.
how can y'all have this man hanging like this, bro?
And you can't go wrong. No, but the only thing that's hanging over him, but that's the case with all these movies, dog, is the original Blade, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like, what direction? I guess we haven't gotten any information. We haven't gotten no behind the scenes artwork. We don't know what it's going to look like, what the suit's going to look like, what direction are they going, supernatural? Is it going grounded? We ain't got nothing.
Because they don't want this. They don't
voice.
want this. They don't want another Chadwick Boseman lead.
Yeah,
that's what it seemed like, man. They're not ready for that no more. That whole Black Panther thing was a test.
right.
That was a whole test. Like, okay, we'll give them the rope. We'll give them the keys to the city. We'll let them sink themselves. Nobody's gonna come see this shit.
Yeah.
Lo and behold,
But they seem, but
shit.
when they announced them, they sounded like they was excited though. Like it sounded like Blade was the biggest surprise, one of the biggest deals.
Oh
that
yeah,
announcement when it happened.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So they know what they got.
But because I think he a comic book head too.
Yeah.
He wasn't with all those punk ass scripts they had in the beginning with the whole pass the baton to the daughter and all that other bullshit.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
damn, we're just getting the man back.
Right.
You trying to pass the baton already? Like, you can't have these 2 movies?
Right.
Yeah.
I don't know, bro.
Anyway, bro, like I said, here's hoping for the future. I'm hoping that they can work this shit out. You know, if it is, dude from John Wick, I'm all for it. But just make it happen, man. Like, I mean, we can't keep having these same conversations, over and over again and acting like the man's worth isn't there. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
We can't do that. And you're holding up. Who knows how many other projects that he turned down just because of this? You know what I mean? And he's overseeing it. You know what I mean? So
I'm glad he's still working, bro. I'm glad he's still making bank.
Yeah, he's still working, bro. He's and here's the thing: is like, hey, June is said to be a big month because we got Fantastic Four, we got Superman, and we got Jurassic Park. You know what I mean? We got that new film that he's in.
Yeah.
So,
dude, hey, I guarantee they gave him. I don't know if there was a way to find out that what is it called? Pay to play. That joint that Nicolas Cage, Nicolas Cage and Tim Burton got paid.
Yeah,
Superman. Who else famously, man? So hopefully
Marlon Wayans got paid for Robin.
Marlon Wayans got paid for Robin.
Yeah, but y'all talking about Warner Brothers. Warner Brothers just spends like crazy.
Yeah, but I'm thinking just because of who he is, you got this. Like you get 2 times Academy Award winner. He
better have some kind of guarantee.
If they make that deal, I can see them making that deal with someone like this that got this weight amongst the people that they were hiring. You know what I'm saying? With Robert Downey Jr. at that time on the way out.
Yeah, it's crazy because he might be taking other films and doing other films, but I guarantee you, had he been offered any franchises in this period of time, he would have been able to say yes.
Dropped all that shit.
Exactly.
Right.
Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah. So I don't know, man. Like I said, here's to our boy, bro. Definitely, I hope they make this film. I hope they put it out, and it's worth it because again, it's just, obviously it's not a good place right now that we're in where we can't get this, finalized. We got Mr. Musashi in the building. Once the scale, man, it's obvious not Ali's acting skill. I just don't get why they are hamstringing this project. Seems unfair to everyone. You're right. It does. It does. It is. You're absolutely right. Like they're again, the excuses can only go but so far. And to the point that you got to point the finger at yourself and say, hey, we're fucking up. Plain and simple.
Those cultural male leads, Shang-Chi and this, they on the back burner for whatever reason.
Yeah.
So
no, I don't know, man. But like I said, man, hopefully, something happens, man. Something actually happens. And, we get what we want in that space. Because
Maybe
again,
that'll make America great again if they do that. Oh, my bad. I'm sorry.
moving on, man. I want to move on to this cat here because it's again we want to talk about the artist, of the week, of course. And of course, that's none other than the man that was responsible for a lot of, Captain America titles that we actually got, pieces that you probably have in your collection, She-Hulk. You know what I mean? There's so many different, pieces out there. We got, Captain America, the wolf himself, like the werewolf version of him. And we're talking about Rick Levins. Again, it's crazy because, Vinny, I look at his catalog and I'm talking about another individual who in that heyday of the whole, mid 80s, early 90s, in like the early 80s, mid 80s to early 90s, who brought us some incredible pieces, bro. Like some incredible art. But how closely, like when we talk about the greats, how they were like so kind of intertwined together in that age of when art and books themselves were just so central, to pretty much everything. And again, like his run on Cap, his run on She-Hulk, Exo Man of War, you know what I mean? Like, a lot of those pieces.
Oh yeah, Exo Man. I forgot about that.
Yeah, bro. Yo, like definitely a lot of things that he was basically responsible for. So here's the thing. I went through and I remember I was like, yo, hold up. I remember I forget. Remember Bob's comics when he was out 22?
Yeah.
He slipped this book in one of my bags.
Oh, word?
Yeah. This was, Dragonfly. He slipped this book basically in one of my bags because it was definitely doing Free Comic Book Day.
Okay.
And this was put in one of my bags. And when I saw this, I was like, hold up, do I still got it? And sure enough, I still have this book, bro. So when I think about and that's, why, when I think about it, I'm like, yo, Rick's done a lot of shit. Like he's definitely been one that, kind of touched on a lot of, things that, we, even in the DC space, with Blue Beetle, and a lot of, notably with Cap and stuff like that. But he's done a lot of work, man. You know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely. I'm most familiar with the Captain America stuff. And one of the reasons why I love the Captain America run that he was on, like I had some of my favorite like interpretations of guys like Crossbone and stuff like that. Those had there were great covers back in the day, and I felt like it was just like really good, solid stories without trying to be like too trend-setting or like doing anything wild and crazy. It was just solid stories. And I think like after kind of around like late 90s, after he was wrapped it up and they moved on to other teams, it was a lot more dull and then experimental, and then it kind of really didn't hit again until later 2000s with Epting and Brubaker. But like that period where he was on it, it just was like the good old days of the Caps books. Like they were just simple, good stories. There was like really fun Avengers crossover sometimes.
Yeah, I had that wolf
art, and like there's always like great covers, and I'm familiar with some of his Exo Manowar stuff too. I think he did a couple stuff, different stuff like that too. I have a few of the She-Hulk issues, but not as much familiar with him from that as Cap. But I know he did some like Marvel Holiday special stuff, some Solar, some stuff with Solar. Like I do have like a few of the Valiant books that he touched on, but that's where I really am most familiar with him. Like I really dug his Cap, so that's always.
Vinny, was this the guy that he did like the longest run for Captain America?
I think one of the longest.
I think he was one of them. I think he's one of them.
And did he pass away quite a long time ago?
Around 05, I think. I could be wrong.
He passed. Yeah, he actually was from what he was diagnosed with was
2010, my fault.
exactly. Yeah, so I mean, but he definitely did because he came around the time he was even around, the time that Cap switched the moniker to Nomad at that time as well. You know what I mean? So he was definitely a part of that run. Even around it was basically and I didn't even realize this, but he was also around the time that Rhodey picked up the moniker as Iron Man.
As Iron Man,
at that time.
Yeah.
And so like he's definitely had a major run, as being part, of especially but majorly with Cap. You know what I mean? A lot of She-Hulk, but majorly with Cap until he started doing his own books, which a lot of that stuff didn't really catch off. But yeah, you're right. He's done a lot. He's definitely done a lot.
Yeah, man. He definitely helped.
And who was the other boy that did a long run with Cap? I know he was one of them. It was damn, I got so much Captain America stuff, man. I can't think of the other guy after him that had a long ass run with him all the way up to Civil War, right?
Bro, there's been oh man.
I'm getting old, bro. What's the boy name, man? I can see his face and everything. I can't remember the boy name.
I saw one of the Captain America creators was in this clip that this chick shared. I forget her name. She like hosted so much shit over the years with the Marvel Studios. And she spoke to quite a few people there, and she spoke to one of the gentlemen at the time. This was in the 90s, like mid 90s, and spoke to the guy, and he was just telling me, I've been on Captain America for a while now. At that time, he was like the longest running on Captain America.
I can't remember the boy name, dog. I can see him and everything.
I think he had a ponytail. I can't remember. It's short,
black hair. Was it black hair and glasses?
Dark hair. Yeah, I'm not sure if he had glasses though.
I mean, you had quite a few. You know what I mean? That had a long run. I think Vinny, if I'm not wrong, it was Joe Simons that had like a run on him.
He would have been.
Did Joe go up the Civil War?
Simon, Steranko. We already know Steranko, Brubaker, stuff like
Simon
that.
Was like creator, like so at the beginning.
Yeah, in the beginning, but
okay.
But Brubaker, we had a couple of people that were basically, but the longest run, I think it's up in the air, bro. Like I can't, to be quite honest, don't give me the line, bro, because I don't know who had the longest run.
I think it's two of them, bro. They had a real long ass run with Cap.
Yeah, like.
He definitely is one of the names responsible for what we think of as Captain America.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. So anyway, man, rest in peace, my man Rick. Putting the work. Definitely.
Man, Crossbones was my shit, yo. Every time he showed up in that book, that was my favorite Cap villain when I was a kid. Crossbones was such a simple character, and I love that it was different, didn't look like him, but I love that they made sure to put him in those films.
Well, when Crossbones dropped, bro, I forgot all about Red Skull punk ass. Like Crossbones just had.
I like Crossbones more than Red Skull. Red Skull was always kind of boring to me. Red Skull was always one of my least favorite major villains. He just never really seemed to be all that.
I think he's a punk ass. Talk too much. Too.
I don't think because with Red Skull, bro, they didn't make him relevant. I don't think they made his storyline as quite relevant until like the mid 90s, going into to be quite honest, they didn't make his stories relevant until like the 2000s, bro.
With the Fear Itself, right?
Yeah. Like there was no relevance to his character.
Bro, I forgot about Fear Itself, bro. Yeah. Oh my god, what a good run. Damn, I forgot about that. Yeah.
You know what I mean? So again, bro, like I think
he had that classic art, man. I was looking up some stuff, man. I remember at that time period, dude. I always bring up McFarlane because I spent so much money on his statues. But
we know.
You just throw it out there. But that
might be on sale down here, bro. It might be on sale.
Yo, this Captain America is so iconic too. Some of these covers are iconic. This is what you think about, and I think part of it his art to me was a bridge to that new and the old.
Right? Oh
like
yeah.
McFarlane and Jim Lee they were drawing. I think we don't think about it. Like those Jokers were brilliant, but they were really drawing to make it look like everybody else's artwork. It was like a certain time period when it was like these Jokers was like, yo, I'm gonna draw Spider-Man the way I want to draw him. And of course the X-Men #1 was Jim Lee was doing that kind of stuff, but X-Men #1 was like I had never seen anything like that, and I had seen Jim Lee's art before that. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, man, I feel like this art right here was. I remember these images, and I'm saying it almost felt negative at that time when I used to read Captain America. Still felt like that age right before. You know what I'm saying? Before that new era, yo. But damn,
bruh, you remember walking into like the gas stations on the 7-Elevens and seeing them fucking comic books on the rack like that, on a little spinner rack,
boy.
Bro, that's what we grew up with, bro.
Jesus, man. You know when I knew that they made it when they the bag joint, the Death of Superman, Spider-Man #1, X-Men #1 at Walmart. When I saw it at Walmart, it was like, yo,
comic books made it.
This is different. We done made it, baby.
Yeah.
Definitely did make it, bro.
But yeah, man, his cap work, man, was dude.
Yeah.
That's what we grew up with, bro. We grew up with this cap, bro.
Good times, bro. Definitely good times, man.
Hell yeah.
Let's keep the good times rolling, though, bro. We got to keep them good times rolling, man. And just going on to this one right here, bro. We got going over the Absolute Superman, bro. Let's keep them good times rolling, bro. We got to keep it rolling, bro. Like it definitely is what it is, man. Come on.
I'll observe. I'm
right behind you, man. I've read this one, but I need to catch up, yo, because I didn't know. I didn't read this. I don't know what the hell.
This one, number 4 is basically the backstory on, again, his, from Krypton to, Earth, and how this particular version, how he basically met the Kents, and how it made so much sense, because again, it wasn't historically like we know that particular storyline, and I like the way they did it. But I think the revelation at Vinny, did you read this yet?
Charlie got jokes.
So
I haven't read that one yet. I think I read the one before.
So
this.
I don't want. Okay,
we're not. I was trying to read up on all the ones that we might have been discussing tonight.
I know something.
So you read this though, right?
Yeah.
This one.
Okay. So we're not going to read it. I'm not going to go because there is a revelation at the end. Yo,
I didn't see that one coming, but I kind of did.
This is a revelation for you. This is a revelation for you at the end of this fucking book. And
I'll read it tonight.
Oh my God, bro. You look, bro. Did I care, bro? No, I understand. I get it. I understand. Anything outside of what, but the Absolute Universe is fucking phenomenal to me, bro. I love how I love this more than what they.
I'll say a little part, which is probably at the early beginning of the book. So you're not spoiling too much. And it's not like you don't know the story. But this was really interesting thing that they did was after Krypton was destroyed.
Yep.
He's on his pod on his way to Earth, right? And they take this very interesting approach that we know he's been always a baby, and so he's just like not knowing anything of what's going on.
Yeah.
So they took this approach of like, what if he's got his wits about him and trying to find another place, another home? How would that drive somebody who's fucking going millions of light years and not finding any sentient life? What would that do to you as an individual?
To your psyche the entire time, bro.
So, and plus he's still an adolescent at this time, so you have all that stuff going on.
He's older than what we knew him the way we know him before, but he's still in this particular book in the very beginning. He's at that adolescent teenage, like a young, not even teenage, bro. I think he's young, probably like around 11, 12. Is that
adolescent? Yeah,
adolescence.
You hitting puberty.
Yeah, he's definitely but it's just how they what we've known is that he was in the pod, Krypton to Earth, There was no, no time in between that we actually got an actual thinking process and the storyline between those parts and how it really fucked with him. And yeah, go ahead, Birdie, because it was super dope.
I thought that was really, really quite tastefully done from what I read and experienced. So yeah, I think for those who are picking that up and want to read that, I think that's a really interesting tidbit to really sink your teeth into, because it's like you never really thought of those that type of telling a story that way. It's always been told he's a baby, he don't know fucking shit, he just landed here, and you tell this really interesting organic story between him and the Kents. And it's just so beautiful, and he gives them such purpose, as we know, and all of the storylines, good, bad, or whatever, of all the storylines between Superman or Clark and the Kents. And it's not only him finding his identity, but also Clark giving them purpose, giving Jonathan and Martha purpose, so it was just a beautiful book. I should have known what was coming, just knowing what word was being thrown out there attached to a company. I should have known, but I was just like, whatever, this is part of the universe. So it for those who really love the universe and was digging this book, I think what happens at the end is really going to catch you. And get you excited for what's to come.
Yeah, Benny, that's what I'm saying, bro. Like, we'll move on from this, because it's definitely something that you really need to read to understand where they're going with it and how well it was actually done. At the end, that revelation, you'd be like, wow, okay.
Yeah, I wish. Yeah, if it was in the thumbnail, I would have pulled it out and made sure I read it before we went on. I was just swamped.
Yeah, no, I get it, bro. Trying to get the room straight. We good, bro. Like, straight up, man. I mean, listen, shit like that happens, bro. I mean, I completely understand. When you got stuff going on, you got to make it happen, bro. You know what I mean? Like,
I'll be caught up on reading this week, though.
Stuff like this, bro, doesn't fly lightly, bro. You can't help it. You know what I mean? You're trying to organize.
Tommy.
Yeah,
that's it.
You're trying to make sure everything is good, bro. I get it. You know what I mean? We get it. You know what I mean? The world is crazy, and in the mind of Vincent Dunn art, bro. Like I said, things just happen, and you just gotta take the good with the bad, bro.
I'm a fan of your work.
Fan of your work, bro. Fan of your work, bro. So we get it. We completely understand. Yeah, I mean, I mean, like it, but nah, bro. Like, if you haven't already read this book, I definitely do implore you to go out and pick it up, because it definitely is worth reading.
I'm already in that ultimate, alternate universe kick, so it's just like kind of right down the alley anyway, when you're already reading like Ultimate Spider-Man and Ultimate Avengers, or the Ultimates rather, all these different Ultimate lines. It just made it easier for me personally to just get into the DC side of things and just check that out.
Yeah, so definitely check it out, enjoy it, and everybody, after you read it, just tell Jedi Kid he need to go out there and get it. You know what I mean? Real quick.
Don't tell me nothing, y'all.
Just tell him he need to go out there and get that book, because it's definitely worth it.
Don't listen.
So let him know, yo, you got to pick up that book, man. It's worth it. So. Just gonna put that out there, man. Just gonna let you know anyway. Moving on, though, we got it. You know what I mean? We kind of covering stuff that we need to actually cover, but I wanted to spend more time on this one, because this this part of it might be met, and I wanted to save because I want to hear everybody else first. You know what I mean? I definitely want to hear everybody else first before I kind of go in on this, and because I want to know how you feel about this episode, how you really feel, and what you're thinking, because I got some thoughts, but we talking about of course Daredevil Born Again episode 6. I want to bring this in and have this conversation, and I'll wait. I'll hold. So overall thoughts. We're going around overall thoughts. Alberticus, what was your thoughts on this episode, bro?
I had a lot of fun. It was very intensely paced. Let's say that. Um, I love the intensity. I was almost like on the edge of my seat when it comes to the episode. So just overall general thoughts, man. I enjoyed it. We really got up and close and personal with Muse as we see here on screen. And we'll get into the weeds with that one in terms of all of that. But and just in terms of overall the show and that episode, I enjoyed it, had fun with it. And didn't quite know exactly where they were gonna go and how they were gonna stick the landing for the episode. There was just a lot of things chalked in that 42 to 45 minutes last week that really has me thinking about this week as well. What the implications are going to be as to that guy trying to kill Wilson Fisk at the end of the episode. They kind of did a rope a dope in terms of you thinking Vanessa about to have him whacked, and that doesn't happen. So interested to see what that means for their relationship going forward, because it almost feels like they were using that scene to not only play with us but also plant the idea or the seed in our minds as audience members or just watchers, like, hey, Vanessa could do her own thing, and we know in the comics she has. So it'd be very interesting to see how that plays out. But yeah, I'm like kind of skirting around the whole Muse. The fight was amazing. I enjoyed the fight. I don't think anybody could have any problems with the fight. It was all Netflixy, basically. It was all basically what we got in Netflix. Maybe a couple like effects here or there. But I just want to take a moment to say I just love when Matt gets down and using those eskrima sticks to bounce off walls and like using his echolocation to really nail a motherfucker. Like, it's really on display when it comes to Bullseye because of his accuracy. But I just love seeing that in all of his fights. The brutality is there. We saw that in the bank robber episode. But the skill and the timing and the finesse of it, I think, is also being paired here, which is making for a great experience.
Yeah, definitely, bro. Definitely well said, man. Prop, what are your thoughts on this, bro?
Yo, the episode was dope, bro. Damn, if I had to be honest with you, man, this was probably my least favorite. It's gonna sound negative. This was my least favorite episode, but it was still a good episode.
Yeah.
And I really can't put my finger on why, except the other episodes even the ones that didn't have action in it, just had a certain kind of pace, where this one felt a little bit different. You know what? I could recognize it was a setup probably for the next episode, is what it felt like. It was probably just that. It was clear to me that it was that. But dude, revealing some of old boy's background, the Wilson Fisk stuff, like I can clearly see where it's going. You know what I'm saying? And I'm still hoping it doesn't go as far as the comic book went. Because I don't want no drama for Daredevil, man. He's been going through it, man. So I'm hoping he gets a little break, dude. I feel like it ain't gonna happen, man.
Nah.
Yeah.
I feel like it ain't gonna happen, yo. But
yeah. Jedi, bro, what's your thoughts on this, man?
I love the episode. Only thing I didn't like was how they killed Muse so quick, man.
Yeah. Yep.
I think he should have been around for at least another episode or two. Sorry if y'all didn't see it. My bad. I stuck up.
Oh no, this is spoiler free, bro, because they had to come.
So we good. All right.
Spoil the shit out of this, bro. What you talking about? This we do after the show on Monday.
Okay.
This is your hall pass, bro. This your hall pass.
My bad. Okay, so I just didn't like how they killed him so early. The fight scene, I wanted him to go more in depth with the whole more into his background. He talked about it a little bit with the doctor before he snapped. But the fight between him and Daredevil felt authentic, man. It felt like a real two guys that know martial arts was really getting down in the office space.
Mm.
You know what I'm saying? So it felt authentic. Now you got this whole diverse shit about to pop off between Fisk and his wife. Bruh, I knew she was cold, but damn, it's like that's ice cold. Like, she want to get back to the dirty business, man. She can't deal with him being the mayor. And I don't think that he can deal with the fact that she messed with old boy while they were separated. So it's like you got two different conflicting opinions of each other that are going to probably blow up by the end of the freaking season. That's why I'm looking forward to that too. And also, you know, now that Fisk knows that Daredevil's on the scene again, I think he'll go directly to Matt, bro. I don't know if that was in Born Again in the book. I can't remember. But
what part?
Yeah, with Fisk going directly at them for being back in the superhero game or whatever. I can't remember. But
yeah. There was a little bit of that.
It was, right? Okay, so I knew it was something like that. So, but now we're getting to that point where the volcano is about to explode between him and Daredevil. So I'm excited to see where this may go, man. I think somebody's gonna die in between him and Fisk. You know, the way they got it going on, man. Because it's just a huge buildup, and I can't wait until tomorrow to finish watching the show. Great show.
Yeah. Vinny, what's your thoughts on this, man?
Hey, hold on, Riz. What Riz just wrote is one of the things I didn't like. It's coming back to me, man. It was a couple of things that was like,
yeah,
really. Go ahead.
Well, maybe it's the shape that he painted it. I don't know. Maybe it's the shapes. Maybe
he was feeling on that painting for a good minute too, man.
Yeah,
so all of a sudden it came to him.
It's her. Wait, this is her face.
Yeah,
hold on, that's her jaw. That's her nose. That's my girl.
Yeah.
Like Bill Murray in Groundhog Day. I felt like this episode.
Yeah, that's one point on Groundhog Day, dog. Hold on, my bad, yo. If you haven't seen that movie, go watch Groundhog. That shit funny as hell.
Oh, come on, classic, yo.
God, bro.
I felt like it was a little anticlimactic. The irony is, I felt like they finished things with Muse a little bit on an anticlimactic note in the comics as well. I never really sat well with how he went out in the comics. It just they built him up so amazingly. For starters, like, we didn't get his superpowers at all. One of the things that people kind of were hoping to see was the Inhuman thing. I didn't need it to be Inhumans, but he did have powers, and it's not just the speed and strength. Like, the coolest part about his powers was
his receiver. Yeah,
how it related to Daredevil, that he was a black hole.
Yeah,
he was imperceptible, so Daredevil couldn't sense him because it's like around him. It sucked in all like sound and air, and it was so it meant it kind of negated a lot of Daredevil's perceptibility with fighting him. He struggled with Muse a lot. Why he was so interesting on top of just being, serial, because he didn't have like Superman level super strength. He just was accelerated human strength. So it made him a very big problem for Daredevil. Now, there was so many different amazing moments for Muse in the comics, not just the blood mural, but this man like had his fingers broke and just like laughed about it. He was like Joker in a lot of ways.
He broke his own damn finger, bro.
He was just wild. The coldest part for me, I was kind of bummed I didn't get to see. This cat went to jail and sat in jail, and then when Daredevil came back, he was like, "Guard, I think I'm ready to leave now," and broke out. Like, he announced his escape and broke out.
Yeah.
It was crazy to me. It was like
Classic.
it was like Joker in The Dark Knight Returns.
Yeah.
Like Batman was back, and all right, cool. Now I got to come
More of an
back too.
incentive. I have a purpose at that point.
Yeah, that was the parallels I always seen. Like he was his Joker in many ways because he was his somebody who like with the imperceptibility and all that.
Yeah.
So the comics kind of like it's almost like they were like, all right, I'm done with you now. But I felt like there was so much more potential for him, and I was hoping that the show
would have touched
you
on
know,
that, bro.
Yeah, even if they didn't touch on that this season, I was hoping he would get away and maybe we would see him down the line. I wanted to see it be somebody that came back. And then that second fight wasn't as good as the first fight to me. It was a lot of cuts. It was a little sloppy. It was, of course, had the grime and it was, of course, bloody, of course, brutal. And that's great. But I wanted to see this be somebody who he just can't get past. Now, maybe that conflicted with the fact that Kingpin is already that for Daredevil, but I don't want it to be where and of course Bullseye is that for him too, but I think that's part of comics, right? Like characters who have great road galleries have multiple members who have their number and they can't beat, and or if they can't beat without help, and they give them fits. So Bullseye and Kingpin are that for Daredevil, but really nobody else is except for Elektra if you count her.
Yeah,
so
exactly.
Those three, but she's I don't know if you really count her as a villain. So it's those two as a straight up villains, and Muse was to me the third, and I loved what they did with him, but I felt like there was more to tell in the comics, and I wanted to see that kind of. And then in this episode, I didn't need to see the kid. We never seen who it was in the comics. I didn't need to see them try to force an origin. Oh, my dad made me like do Taekwondo. Like that was just kind of corny to me. It was kind of corny, and they're doing a lot to try to make us care about the psychiatrist. And I barely even remember like what her name is, Heather, right? Like I don't really care about her very, very much, which is part of the problem here. So I'm sure that was something that they were hoping to rectify, because there is so much more chemistry with Elektra and Karen, and they're struggling with building that in this, but I still enjoyed the show. It sounds like I'm shitting on it. I just wasn't ready to see Muse go yet, because I know how much more that there is in that character's tank. So I would have liked to see that continue. What we got to see with the fist stuff and everything was brilliant, and I love where they're going with that. There's so much there. It's amazing, but it's like this season was juggling Devil's Reign, the Muse story,
Born Again,
and Devil's Reign, the Muse story, and whatever the hell they were doing with that, false start season that we had mixed in here. So it was like juggling. And I feel like it's not as quite as cohesive and strong as the other seasons, but it's giving us such like really great content. And I think this episode, I'm kind of with Pop here, it wasn't bad. It just didn't quite live up to what the other ones brought to the table, despite another great Muse moment, another great Kingpin moment. I just felt like it's almost like they felt like they had to wrap this up or tell more that they weren't ready to tell, instead of just letting that dude go away and deal with him down the line. Like they could have put him in the future season. Yeah. So I would have liked to see Muse come back. There is so much more to do with that character.
Hey, and a cop snuck up on Daredevil too.
Yeah.
Did y'all miss that?
Oh yeah, he beat his ass in
Nah. Oh, dude, you're right. Yeah, he smacked him in the head, but he snuck up on him. How you gonna sneak up on Daredevil, baby?
Oh, when he was in the Muse lair.
Yeah. That's my.
Well, you know what the thing though with that, I think he snuck up on him because Matt ain't been Daredevil in a minute. Yeah, so he was still a little rusty.
I think it was he got distracted.
I think
what he was doing.
Face, it was like, oh shit, and then that happened at the same time. Dude walked in. So,
you're right, man. I like Matt. I like Matt Murdock enough. I'll give him a pass this time.
Yeah.
I'm just saying. I think that's how they wanted it to come across. I guess
the face shit was so that did bug me. You didn't have to have him touching her face earlier in the episode to tell us that he knows how to detect shit with his hands if he's touching the paint.
We knew it.
Like,
yeah.
Like I mean, even like regular blind people could do that shit, yo. Like,
Yeah.
I didn't like this episode.
Hey,
I didn't. I'm just being completely honest, bro. I didn't like it.
it's something about it. What was it? Yeah.
There's a couple of different things, bro. I've had the same issue that I basically had with the sort of like the issue that I'm had with the entire season. And I don't want to basically compare it to what we got from the Netflix, but I think a lot of these New York undercover quick shots are getting on my nerves.
With the people.
Yeah, it's getting on my nerves, bro. Like I don't need that anymore, bro. I don't need that, and it's like that is becoming too much because it's taken away from the story. In my opinion,
I agree with you on that.
I hate that.
Yeah,
I didn't like the execution with Muse revealing his backstory so early in this episode because I didn't need and I did not want his backstory. Not now, because the thing is, Muse is a thorn in Matt's side.
Yep.
Because and to me, and this is going to sound a bit morbid, stakes. The stakes weren't there for me at all. I didn't feel the stakes. I just felt as though you had to get from point A to B.
Yep.
You know what I mean? And that's what didn't make any sense to me. I, in my personal opinion, wanted Matt to suffer a lot more than what he had because then it shows the growth of this character and that he doesn't get a fucking break. And what better way to do it than to use Muse? Let him kill the psychiatrist, bro. Literally.
I thought he was. I thought it
was going to happen.
But I was like, yo, what if they did the shit with blind spot to her? I thought he was going to poke her eyes out.
And that's what I thought was going to happen, bro. Like, at least give us that. Give us more stakes. And even if he doesn't kill her, mortally wound her to a point.
Mortally wound her.
You know what I mean? The cut on the arm
wasn't nothing.
That was nothing because she can. I mean, yeah, she lost blood, but she didn't lose enough blood to basically pull that trigger.
Nah.
And if you think about all the creative ways Muse has hurt people, like just slicing her arm was so like
basic. Muse is a horrible person. And who enjoys this shit. He enjoys this shit with no fucking remorse. He don't give a fuck about a backstory or his fucking family. He is basically a psychopath, a tortured psychopath who believes that what he is doing is for the sake of the art and doesn't think that what he's doing is basically wrong. You know what I mean? So give us that. He's a character who I have definitely would have wanted to see progress into season, the next season. It would have made sense for me. But the treatment of this episode, bro, was like, okay, you just break into some fucking, okay, you go, you talk to her, you relate to her, you think that she basically knows you, and that, again, you help me to really, you know who, you've always known who I am, but you're helping me to come out and realize that I should embrace who I am. I didn't need to hear that, bro. I didn't need any of that. I didn't need a backstory. Because the thing is, I wanted Matt to have more stakes and to place that anger somewhere. And sometimes it comes in the form of you not being able to solve a situation or even get your hands on an individual. I wanted that. Like, Benny, you said it perfectly. Muse is the perfect fucking Joker for the Daredevil universe, bro.
Yep.
He's perfect.
Yep.
He is the perfect antithesis, bro. He is that individual that should be there, bro. And I just don't think this episode to me was the weakest, in my opinion.
Problem is, I think Bullseye operates in that space now.
Yeah, but he does, and I get that.
Bullseye back.
But
this show, it seems like they consult and work with the creators and comic book writers very, very hand in hand on many different things. And it feels like on this one, they were like, nah, you sit this one out. We good. We know what we're doing.
Let's swing it.
But you did it.
I mean, and now another version of this is we still don't know exactly, except for the bank episode, we really don't know what was shot before and after, how they fit things in. Like, to me, personally, there's another version of this where this worked out better than it could have, being that it might have been patched together. You know what I'm saying? But with that being so and when I'm watching the show, but specifically this episode, I'm looking at it through the lens of I wonder if this is this quick because they threw it in. Because I agree with you guys as well. Where
it felt like it,
because they could have finished the fight. I'm on the fence. If they were going to be done with Muse quick, I was cool with the lair scene. Like ended.
When
he disappeared.
Why
right?
go back to it for some bullshit?
Right. To let him survive for one more
Just
episode.
escape.
Just for, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
just escape.
Even that talk with
they could have brought him back next season.
His problem with the therapist was that, like, what was your problem with the therapist? If the conversation you had with her was that you're opening my eyes that this is what I want to do. I want to use my art to hurt people. Thank you. And then kill her. Like it didn't make sense to the story. Like there was no motivation there. And he's killed 100 some people, but yet he isn't able to kill this woman.
Right. And he's not able to basically evade in broad daylight, but you're able to basically paint these fucking murals up in the sky, up in the air, place two bodies by one. You know what I mean? Like you're unable to evade, but you put yourself in this harm unless you were trying to prove a point, and there was no point proven. With that character, there were absolutely no stakes because they didn't spend enough time on that storyline, bro. There was no real focus there, bro. And then now basically you're just using it as a trope to say, okay, Wilson Fisk can use that to say that he and his group were the ones who did this for the people.
That's it. Yeah,
but to do something like that, bro, use another fucking character. Use somebody else.
Right.
You don't have to use him, bro. You don't. If anything, if you want to do something, bring in a character like the Scourge.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Who was a fucking, bring somebody like him in. Use him
not to mention you're building up this task force that's supposed to be this Suicide Squad who is going to fucking like have no rules, no holds barred, and yet they're just taking credit for some shit they weren't even there for. But yet we're supposed to think it's a challenge at all for Punisher to take them out when it's time.
Yeah, bro. Like it just you don't. There was a lot riding on this season for Disney to prove that and here's the thing, it's still not done yet. We might get something fantastic next couple episodes. We only got 2 left?
Yeah, 2 more.
2 more left. So like we got 2 more left to tell with them fucking balloons. We got 2 more left, bro. And I'm hoping that they really stick the landing on that because this episode, the episode before this was dope as fuck.
This is the only issue I've had. This is the only episode I've had.
Yeah. The only episode
is the bank episode was a filler episode, but I thought it was dope.
I thought it was a dope episode. It was a dope episode. The only thing that I've had with the entire season, bro, is the New York undercover feel with them cut-ins. That's the only thing I don't like. Yeah. But I get it. I fucking get it. But at the same time, bro, like I said, it was just this episode that I had high hopes for. I was like, okay, yeah, we're getting the thick of things. But I just wish we didn't see Muse in that way, bro. He is an important fucking character, bro.
Yep.
I love that storyline, bro. And you do this, it just didn't sit well with me, man. That's the only thing. And I know. Look. Do I enjoy the season? Yes. In my opinion, is it touching any? And this is just my humble opinion. Is it touching anything that we got from the seasons on Netflix? Not in my opinion. Nope. It's not gonna come close to that. Not yet. I don't care how much fucking CGI acrobatics you put in and merge that with practical. It's not. It's not as Trump tight cohesive as I would want it to be, but it has the potential to get there.
Right, because the actors are there. I will say one thing that's very, very, very consistent is dude, the acting.
Charlie Cox is killing it.
The characters that come back, yo, they are
killing it.
They doing their thing, yo.
Yeah, and here's the thing, and Jedi, like you guys have basically been saying, like there was a lot that was shot from the throwaway, Vinny. They shot basically the throwaway, so we know that they kept certain elements of that in this season just to finish it off. They're going in the season, to the next season where they have a clean slate to do what the fuck they want to do, and I'm hoping that they focus on that and not have to worry about stuff that ended up on the cutting room floor that they couldn't
And
manage.
not just that, there's no way
Yeah.
their budget wasn't affected in any way by the fact that there's 3, 4, 5 episodes that were trash. I doubt they got to get that money back that they spent on those episodes. So
dude, I think I disagree with it from scratch. I think some of them episodes are in the second season. I
think so?
Dude, there's no doubt in my mind. It might not be, it might still be clean slate enough. Like, I love the bank scene. If they got stuff like that, you know what I'm saying? They can get away with it, right? That's the kind of episode you could throw in there and not notice. But because the photos, the stuff that's leaking from the set of season 2 and where they're at in the process, I feel like they're way further along. Like they got a head start with that season 2, in my opinion.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you usually don't start seeing stuff this quick. Yeah, like it's airing, and we're already seeing these dudes in costumes, doing stunts, doing full scenes. You know what I'm saying? So
yeah,
that's post production and production. We're shooting. So
yeah, it's going to be, like I said, man. It's going to be interesting to see. I hope they get it right. I really, really hope they stick the landing with these last 2 episodes. I just wish Muse would have made it a bit further, bro. He would have been. It would have been a dope carry on into like a season finale where was like, yo, he really did this. Because they said that he's killed so many, but right now he's looking like
Gore the God butchered him.
Yeah, exactly. He's looking more like Gore the God Butcher, bro. That's what I was thinking about.
Yeah.
He's looking more like that. Because we've only basically seen him kill a few people. One dude that he left basically in the right by the board, the garbage heap, whatever.
He's a serial killer that we didn't see him kill not one person.
Yeah, bro. Like, so that's what I'm saying. Like, don't go to God butcher this dude, bro. Like, don't do that. Don't do that, Disney. Y'all gotta stop doing that shit, fuckers, bro. Like, don't. You have a rose gallery of fucking villains. At least say what the fuck. Okay, say what the fuck you want to say about Sony. They give their villains a whole fucking movie. They do. They give them a whole damn fucking movie, bro. And they let that story flesh out no matter how horrible it is. They give them a whole fucking movie,
bro.
But these motherfuckers
without introducing the hero at all.
Nah, bro. Like, come on, man. It was just it was too fucking early. And as soon as I saw it happen, bro, and it was her that shot, I was like, no.
Yeah.
Nah, man. Nah. I was ready to go to course and wake some kids up and fuck them up, bro. I was, bro. That's just the way I felt, man. I was so disappointed, but it is what it is. We got episode 8 tomorrow, right?
Mm-hmm.
Episode 8, and we got one more after that, I believe. Episode 9.
Yeah.
So hopefully,
they could have did 10 episodes, man. Damn.
They could have, bro. Yeah, I mean, they could have done it, bro. And this, for some reason, this episode fell short as fuck.
Everything happened so fast.
Everything 42 minutes.
It was 42 minutes.
Yeah.
That shit was short, man. Come on,
everything happened so fast, bro. Muse getting killed, the whole fight shit in the office.
The funniest shit is he should have been like, "Yeah, I'm sorry, I can't be with nobody who kills, baby. I gotta go."
He was trying to. She felt the vibe and was trying to get his ass out the office. Then all of a sudden he went into like the nut vibe with her ass, and she couldn't get away from it. Then it was too late.
Yeah, bro. Yeah,
hilarious.
So.
Yeah, bro, it is what it is. But I mean, here's the thing, man. Like, we just right now just have to see where it goes. I'm hoping for the best. I'm hoping this next episode won't disappoint and that they'll kill it, man. So we'll have to see. Anyway, that is our time for the night, man. We got we got through some stuff. Next week we got to, there's gonna be more to talk about. Absolute. There's going to be more things that we basically talk about in this universe, man. So, yo, Jedi Kid, man, just go and pick up them books, bro. Go and get that.
I'm getting all in.
Yeah, go ahead, bro. Go and get them books, bro.
Superman all in. That's what I'm reading.
Yeah, bro. Nah, go and get the books, bro.
No, trash.
Playboy.
Go and get them books, Playboy. Go on, go. Yeah, I mean. Anyway, man, thank you guys for actually being here with Charlie. I got to give Charlie what he want, man. I got to do this for Charlie one more time. Charlie, if you watching, man, here you go, bro. Here you go, bro. Here you go, Playboy. Here you go, Charlie. Here you go, Playboy. I got you, Playboy. Charlie, I told you I'd do this for you, brother. Here you go, man. Go on, one more time, bro. One more time. And for everybody out there watching, if you want to catch a live show, head on over to Vincent Dunn Arts. You can actually get the link to when that show is going to be up and running. He's going to probably have a little shed, decorate the little spots. Definitely extended the room. Now it's called Paradise. So definitely, you get the link. All that.
I thought it was Nippolopolis, but I guess we'll talk.
Nippolopolis.
Vinny's boom boom room.
Yeah, man. Definitely, man. So you already know. It is what it is. He said, "Get my wife off the screen." Anyway, man, thank you guys for being here as always. Prop, what you got going on, brother? What you got going on?
Dude, nothing, man. Just looking forward to Wednesday, dude. I took a break, man. I need to get back to work, open some boxes, do something.
Hey, Hilberticus, bro. Hey, Hilberticus, I had to recreate that scene, bro. I had to recreate it, the background, bro. I had to do it.
That is dope, yo.
Vinny, go and get this, bro. Vinny, you gotta go and get this, bro. Go and get this suit, bro.
I'm gonna get, bro.
I have.
No,
you done dropped it.
No, Pete, bro. He's good. He good money. He good money.
Now, that's a regular body or a body like the Wolverine body? Is that like,
bro? I think this is different, to be quite honest.
Wait, was that the McFarlane joint?
Nah, that's the 160.
I missed when he had it up.
Yeah, I got the McFarlane one. He had it posed like that. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
That's dope, bro.
Yeah, it's definitely the Hano.
They still got him around. I might buy that boy tonight.
I don't know. I mean, it's
definitely not at Sideshow. That bitch gone.
Yeah, he definitely going to Sideshow, but you can find him in other places, bro.
Yeah, that's dope.
I might find out at the shop.
Yeah, you can definitely get this, bro. But
you get him for $50.
Jason will get it for you for $9.99.
Yep.
Yeah, bro. Jason, come on, bro.
Depending on who you know.
But anyway, Prop, go ahead, man. You finish? You guys want to say?
Yeah, man. That's it, man. Looking forward to Wednesday. Looking forward to what's next, baby.
Yeah, we gotta see what's gonna come next. What information we gotta get. We got one more slot on that exclusive list, so we'll see how that's gonna go. So just wait. Boy. We'll see.
Narrowed it down.
Robertic is gonna come with some news just in case. He got a plug. He got that plug, bro. So you know it is.
That's it. Bert got it.
Yeah. We waiting to see what that last celebration exclusive is going to be.
Yeah.
There's one more spot, and that is only on the line that has had. They've had 18 spots, but the first 6 spots, or the first 5 spots, have been 6 scale figures. So there's one more spot left that's in that line.
How to do more legends, man? Like maybe Jason Solo or something.
See what that is.
Remember, bro, you got to remember, bro. For this is celebration. We got May the 4th right after. So
I know. Yeah. I think that's a more interesting point, Leo, and we'll touch more on that on Wednesday. But a lot of conversations I'm seeing out there, especially with that mall, I'm seeing a lot of people conflate this rollout with the May the 4th rollout that we know how Twist has done over the last few years. Like that's this is not that. This is a very special occasion that they're doing, and it's celebration is over in their neck of the woods, so they're doing a little bit extra when it comes to that. Hot Twist has a few spots in Japan, from what I know. So yeah, man, they're just doing fun stuff. It's not for us here in the contiguous U.S., even though some of us may like it, but it's not. Those things weren't designed in mind with everybody in mind. That's all it is.
Yeah, but this Hano, if anybody gets a chance to get this, bro, if you can get a chance to get that, yes, Edar, you should.
Yeah, it's still on there. It's on Big Bad too.
You should definitely get that. But yeah, man, we got to see, man. We got a lot to talk about on.
Hano on Big Bad Toys. Big Bad Toys.
Yeah. So we got a lot to cover, but I think you make a very interesting point, Alberticus. They are. It's bro, it's like a knee, it's always that reaction. It's the first, it's that knee-jerk reaction to, you know, really like blur the lines when it comes to celebration, an event that actually even hasn't happened yet with May the 4th. They're, you know, you gotta, they're not going to show their hands on pretty much everything. You know what I mean? Remember, like last year we got Nate, and they always give us a preview before earlier. So I would actually expect within the next couple of weeks that we get a preview about May the 4th. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's kind of like,
and in the event that happens, I need everybody to collectively shut the fuck up.
Yeah.
Sit back and put your seatbelt on. How about that?
Exactly. So definitely do that. But then, man, Prop, thank you for being here, brother. As always, we definitely appreciate you, man. Jedi Kid, man. You know what I mean? When you gonna invite us? Oh, we got Uncle Keith in here too. Uncle Keith, man, you should be getting on a plane pretty soon, from what I know, brother. I think he's gonna be on a plane here in about a good, I don't know if he's leaving tonight or tomorrow. Uncle Keith, when you leaving out, bro? Let us know, man. Let me know. Yeah, let me know.
They should have Wi-Fi on the damn thing, so they hit us up, man.
Yeah, hit us up, bro.
It should be good to have Wi-Fi on the plane. Then you're on an international flight.
Yeah, as always, man. He said always got. He said when he said I always go with you, Leo. You already know, brother. He said Wednesday. Okay, you leaving out Wednesday, so okay. He prepped and ready. That's what I'm saying. Let's go. But yeah, Jay, what you got going on, man? More figures, bro. $600. More figures.
I got these 6. I'm gonna look for that Hano Spider-Man. Now you got me looking for it now. Try to pick that up.
That's the one, bro.
School and just school starting again soon for me in 2 days. And then that's it, man.
Word.
I can't wait to open Sabine, bro.
She's a beauty.
Bruh.
Bro. She's a beauty.
Yo, just from the picture on the box is just raw, though. I ain't open the box.
That's another thing you're gonna be like, how the fuck? What the fuck? With the head sculpt. You just like,
bro.
Oh, for real?
It's crazy, bro.
Listen, Jedi Kid.
Yeah. Is that good?
I got because you got one without the helmet and one with the helmet. So I was like, you know what? Originally, put it this way. Originally, I ordered 2.
Okay.
Through Ray. So I had to, bro. I had to because
I want somebody to do that custom of her in the first episode so bad.
Long hair.
I would love for that.
Yeah.
If somebody did
that, with the long hair, John, right? With the same
highly
face.
interested in putting my money towards that.
Oh yeah.
Just to be able to swap it out and swap it in whenever I want to do.
Yeah.
Well, it's kind of amazing that you say something like that. That is. It's kind of amazing that you say like that, because that was one of the purposes for me to get 2. Because I wanted to be
the long hair version of it.
Yeah, I wanted to basically come on, bro. Like anytime I need something done, bro. Anytime I look, this is what she did. This is Tina.
I saw the photo.
Yeah.
Wow.
Look at that. Look at that. Like Tina is not to be fucked with, bro. You can't, like, literally, bro. She did amazing work. Amazing.
And she's hearing it. Like we got to big her up so much more. And we already doing that, but it's like the fact that she's doing that and she's here in the contiguous US. I think that's just such a great value to us as collectors, because most of the people who do repaints or will paint your sculpts that are of the professional variety, I don't know many here, or if there's any here, but most of those people over there who are doing the rooting and the painting applications, they're over there overseas, man. So I just think it's a big boom to us to have her here on this side of the world.
Yeah, bro.
It's a beam saber bright green.
Oh yes.
Yeah. Yes, it is.
One
of their brightest, bro.
Oh
yeah. It is one of their brightest, bro.
The Mace Windu. It beats the blue sabers that they do. It's just something about that green light.
Yeah,
it carries through the whole blade. You don't get no
Oh,
drop off.
that's what's up.
Yeah, but it's crazy that they pull it off with that. But bro, it's really wild because even when you look at that Ahsoka, I was watching Justin's video and they turned out the lights. It was like, nah.
Oh, with the white sabers, yeah.
It just didn't work. It didn't work.
Nothing's gonna beat the visual appeal of the CFL. There's just nothing that's gonna beat that visual appeal.
That's true.
But just mass wise or mass production wise, these are fine. But if you want to take it to the next level, that's just
I got a few of them.
CFLs or those, bro. You definitely got to do it because I'm doing it for Ahsoka. I have to, bro.
You gotta get the white.
You definitely got to get the white for her and Balin. So I'm definitely Shin and definitely Shin. But anyway, bro, thank you for coming through, man. Appreciate it, man. Vincent Dunn, all right, Vinny, man, the man with the room, man. What's going on with you, brother?
Just catching up on some reading and some shows now that I'm like out of this little mini gauntlet here. I got the next show. I got like 6-week break for till the next show, May 16th to the 18th. So if you're in the Philly area, come on through. I should have my booth numbers, within a few weeks here. But just looking to catch up on. I had to take a little break from reading and from organizing the collection here to get some art turned out, and I've been grinding the past couple weeks, so I'm gonna take a couple days, regroup, and catch up on some other stuff, and then back to the drawing board literally to get some new pieces done for the Philly show. And I'm going to be working on some new vinyl art for that too, so I'm excited about dropping more of those type of pieces. And I always leave those cons just really inspired. There's so many creative people, and I'm constantly obsessed with like bringing stuff to people that I don't see and that I like. So there's a lot of ideas in my head that I can't wait to get out and onto paper. So I'm looking forward to that. So got the next episode of Daredevil tomorrow. I'll have a new Daredevil piece that I'll be dropping to coincide with that, because I've been trying to do a piece for every single week. And other than that, man, just looking forward to catching up on everything that I got going on over here and getting some new art done. So we'll be back here next week on Comic Book Talk with Friends. We'll talk more Daredevil, more Ultimates, more Salute Jay, and then we'll see what else we got in the mix to talk about. Every week is some drama with the Marvel Studios films going on, so hopefully it's positive, because I'm tired of talking about them not making Blade. I'm like,
bro.
Yeah.
Hey, we got Fantastic Four coming soon, bro. We got
what's dope? I was too busy to do anything for it. I didn't even post about this, but I hope it sticks. I hope Fantastic Four is a major win for Marvel, and it hits and is a blockbuster that keeps getting many sequels, because on I think it was like Saturday, there was like everybody, there was a lot of people talking about the Fantastic Fourth, it being April 4th. So I hope that's the new, like, May the 4th be with you, and that becomes a thing where we get new Fantastic Four things on April 4th. So that'd be cool if they keep that going, because I really do want Fantastic Four to win.
Yeah. Now I want that to win.
They
so
definitely
many great stories to be told. Just if we could, I don't. You know what? I'm not even gonna say it. I was like, man, if we could just get to Richard, but I don't. Do that.
Yeah, we get to Franklin, bro. But even before that, bro, just tell us a good, solid story, bro. That's all I want them to do is tell us a good, solid story. Get to that point, and I think it's a win. But bro, thank you for being here as always.
Pleasure.
Oliver, close off, man. What you got going on,
bro? Always, first and foremost, always a pleasure to be here with my brothers on the panel, talking about all these things that we are passionate about. Always a pleasure to have a breath in my lungs. Can't do anything without my Lord and Savior Jesus Christ. Secondly, nothing much going on. I've got just some comic books coming in. some more battery replacement kits coming in. I'm gonna yeah, you know, bro, I'm addicted. I'm sorry.
He's all in on that,
I'm
bro.
all in, bro. I'd be talking to dude. He sent me a free one, so I was just like, yeah, you got me. You got me. You got me.
Word.
But yeah, just really just adding more taste to the display, trying to figure out ways to put them on risers, and hopefully creating some content with that in the near future, and I have done so far. So
Yo,
continue to
hey,
add on to the collection.
that shelf you had all the figures like looking up.
Oh yeah, bro. Yeah,
that joint looked like realistic as hell, bro.
Because I thank you. I grew up looking at that Marvel spread of everybody. You know, that's Marvel to me. That picture,
right.
McNevin.
Always, yes,
Damn,
we talked about it.
Yeah.
That spread has always been how I've seen Marvel. It's all of these amazing characters. I look there, oh my god! I look there, oh my! I told you guys. I always started. I'm a street level nigga. Okay, I only know Daredevil. Yeah. When I started off, I only knew Daredevil, Fisk, all of the Spider-Man villains. I was a street level Negro.
Yeah.
And I started growing up, and oh my god, this guy, like that's
we
the
got
world.
this, we got that. Yeah,
you know. So that's kind of the inspiration I'm going for when it comes to that Marvel MCU display, is trying to recreate that feeling that I have when I look at that image and I look at that painting, that mural. But yeah, man. Other than that, thank you, man. Appreciate
always,
you,
brother.
Always. But yeah, man. Other than that, man. Rest in peace, George Floyd. Rest in peace, Sandra Bland. Rest in peace,
Sandra Bland, bro.
Rest in peace, Trayvon Martin.
Bro.
Rest in peace to our angels. I go on social media and people are mocking these people every single day. So I gotta stand for my people, because there ain't nobody out there giving a fuck.
Crazy, bro.
No, bro. Like I was asked,
there's jokes and memes.
Bro, I was asking, and honestly, I answered the question the best way no how. When that shit was no lie, motherfuckers was like, yo, like we look at all these turnouts, that happened over the week, and they said it was very, really, really small participation within the Black community. I'm like, well,
we've been watching and doing this shit for years.
We've been doing that shit for almost 70 years, bro. Longer, 60 plus years. And I think that we've shed enough blood, bro. I said the difference, and I honestly said the difference between, what you're doing now and us is that we took the brunt of it. We would have basically test tube dummies. We would have actually the litmus test for what you're doing now, and everything that you did over the weekend was.
They wouldn't dare sick dogs on y'all, motherfuckers.
The thing about it is now that the shit is affecting everybody.
Yeah, right. It's affecting everybody, but the expectation is now, because it's affecting your pockets and your way of living.
Right.
But it was basically affecting our life in general, our lifestyle in general. Everything.
You know what I see? I see people for the first time feeling what it feels like to be Black, and they can't fucking take it.
Nope.
Yep.
Nope.
Remember that Chappelle? Remember that Chappelle and Chris Rock skit on SNL when all the white people were shocked at he got elected, and they were like, "Yeah, welcome to America." Y'all just realizing what it's like here,
right?
Yep, exactly, bro. So that's what I'm saying. Look, I'm not shitting on your attempts, because yes, it's something that should be happening. I'm glad you're doing it.
Glad you're doing it.
But at the same time, just keep in mind that
I'm taking a break.
For us, it's like a lean on the wall right now, just to watch and see. My elbows on the wall. I'm watching.
That's Target about us. They losing millions and millions of dollars a day.
Exactly. Because basically, if my ass was in that crowd, a sniper knows a black spot. That's a big target. Yeah. You know what I mean? So again, it's not to say that I won't participate and shouldn't participate, but we've done enough. You know what I mean? I've marched. I've been a part of different conversations. I've been a part of a lot of social events when it comes to the African-American plight and where we need to be. I've done these things. I've been doing this. Like, shit, I'm fucking 51 years old. I remember my fucking dad, like even back in the day, young as I was and not really knowing certain things, having me a part of certain, events, marches, certain, even conversations, when they were talking about Huey, conversations when they were basically talking about, those whose lives were, lost. I was a part of those discussions. You know what I mean? I remember when, they put out the album, of social injustice and everything that was basically happened during the Vietnam War and, Muhammad Ali, and they put out an album, an entire album dedicated to that shit. And it was signature signed, conversations that were actually had, things that were done, that, even at a young, age was in the zeitgeist and memory. We've been doing this shit for years.
Years.
Man, I just put my daughter on the Malcolm X the other day. I felt that my son didn't watch the movie, but my daughter asked me a question, dude. So we went down the rabbit hole of watching all these old interviews, and it's crazy. Everything. There's some words that's different.
Yeah.
Here and there, the word Negroes thrown around a lot, but every single thing was still relevant. He's talking about Democrats, Republicans, how the Republicans and Democrats split and come together and become something else. Like everything he was saying was relevant to this. The power of the artists, the power that artists don't have. You know what I'm saying? How some artists are used to do all the stuff we're seeing right now, bro. So, man, we in special times, man. And again, the testament. I always shout out this show. Been telling everybody to be here and have this brotherhood and see us doing this and having a diverse audience.
Because remember,
you have you know what I'm saying, and still being able to maintain is just having a positive place, man. Because we know we in the fight, dog. To your point that brought us on this with the protest, we have to fight regardless, whether we show up to a protest or not. We got
every day, man.
Things we got to do. We got to teach.
Bro.
Because I gotta fight when I'm just trying to exist and wake up in the morning.
Existing, baby.
Exactly, bro.
Don't forget,
it's for us. It's beyond the dollar, bro.
Yeah, those issues from back then that is we thought were getting better. There's a reason why the fucking slogan is "Make America Great Again."
America great.
Made.
Dude,
they were trying to take down the Black history, African American.
Yeah, the Smithsonian, bro. They're trying to basically attack that and defund it.
The whole shit with Harriet Tubman's story and just having her on the stamp, and that's it.
This whole platform is uneducated, and that's their whole point. Why do they view the universities as adversaries? Why do they view education?
There's a reason why education is the number one target.
Because it's easier to control an uneducated mass than uneducated.
And by the way, gentlemen, when you say that to all our white friends and homies out there, audience members, whatever, when they hide the history, we talk about the Nation of Islam, of course, would preach that how history is hidden from us. Nah, bro, I'm telling y'all might not agree with me. They don't respect us enough to hide the history from us. They actually hiding it from them white kids. They scared what happens to them white kids when they find out
that their great grandpa and their great grandmamas was calling people, and hanging them from trees. And
because if I can
that's who they want to keep ignorant.
Stuff from my Black perspective, you can gaslight me. It is hard to gaslight somebody that look just like you.
Exactly. But anyways,
you can read a little book called Strange Fruit.
There's a reason why they roll out certain people that look like the race that they have do a lot to, and then see, look, he said it.
Yeah.
Look, he said it. Why do you think
that's a coon? That's a clown you're pointing at, sir. They don't know that. They don't know the difference.
Bro, that's what I'm saying, bro. Like, listen, this is a much bigger fight than what we actually think. But just keep in the background, keep this in the back of your mind. Like I said, literally, regardless of what this motherfucker tries to say about taking away a third term, there's no fucking way in hell that he can do it.
No,
I don't give a fuck. There's no way in hell that it can amend, and an amendment would be basically passed by the Supreme Court. It won't. There's no way for them to do it right now. They can't. So
he can do it because then Obama will come back.
Well, but the laws ain't the problem though. Even now, even things that's already happened, the law is not the problem. What people aren't really talking about is the mechanism of enforcement.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That's the only thing, and that's not to throw fear out there, but that's just my only. I agree with you. I doubt it's going to happen.
We're too strong right now, bro. Like there's no enforcement on the black will at this particular time.
Right.
The hand of God guards his own. The blood that was shed protects his people. That's just basically how it always will be. You got to remember that. Alhamdulillah. That's just how it works. So again, you can't. There's only but so much you can actually do. Your days are numbered, and I'm not to cast any type of evil doubt or any type of. I'm not trying to put that energy out there because, like I said, I'm the one that never has. I don't have a hating or hatred, a bone in my body of hate. There was no hatred in me at all towards anyone because, again, regardless if you are my enemy, again, I will always continue to pray for you. And that's just how it actually has to be. But you decide on how far you want to go, and days are numbered based on the words you speak and the actions that you display. So I'm just letting it be known, like for us as black folks, bro, we got to stand on business. We got to stand to deliver for our own. We got to create our own institutions. We got to first, and look, our own institutions, financial institutions, but most importantly, honestly, even on that level, create our own fucking black Hollywood so the truth can get out there for real. This is what we have to do, man. And I ain't talking about
Black Wall Street.
Trying.
Yeah.
Tyler Perry bought a lot, so did 50 Cent. So we're trying.
Can I say
Don't
something?
start with Tyler Perry, please.
Yeah, nah, bro.
No. Listen.
But
I'm just talking about the buying of the land. I'm not talking about the work. I'm talking about the buying of the land. That's what I'm talking about.
Hey, but you know what?
I can take that, bro. But I don't want his hands and everything, bro.
And other people film. Other people film at his studios.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
They do.
So it's like it ain't just
I mean.
They do. I get that, bro. But I just
don't misinterpret that. I am not.
I get your point.
On the bandwagon of his film. I do not like any of his movies, but the fact that he bought a lot for us to film on.
Oh yeah, that's cool.
The same thing with 50 Cent. He bought another big ass lot too, so we can film on to make.
Yeah, but here's my thing. I hope when you're buying these lots that you are still giving people liberties to tell their own stories. And they're not constricted to the way you want things to be, because that's what's happening in Hollywood at this moment, is that not enough stories, original stories are being allowed to display without hands in the fucking pockets. Motherfuckers in the cookie jar, bro.
Man. Hey, you still mad because Tyler Perry canceled that Boondocks episode?
Nah. I mean, that's funny.
With him and the oil and that shit was funny as hell.
Was that, I forgot what episode because they took it off, man. I think it's
fucking who was that? Childish Gambino said that he almost made him remove that episode from the last season. No,
man.
Anyway, man.
Yeah.
It is what it is. Listen, at the end of the day, man, stay blessed. Everybody prayed up. Stay prayed up. We love y'all. And again, regardless of what's going out in the world, you can always come here and get these conversations in pop culture, everything that we love, because that's the art that we display. So again, love y'all, man. Have a great night, great evening. We are out.
To the tyrants.
Yeah, definitely, bro. That's how it be, man. So we love y'all. We will talk to y'all later. Peace out. Let's go. And we are out here.